Taproom has a brand new menu you do not want to miss. Catch all of the action on game day with your favorite teams. The Huskers, the North Platte Bulldogs, and the St. Pat's Irish on their big screens. Pair the excitement with our amazing drinks, and you've got the ultimate game day experience. Don't forget to enjoy axe throwing with your friends. Brigham's Taproom, where great food, great drinks, and great times come together. Brigham's Taproom, 1100 South Jefferson Street, North Platte.
'70s, '80s, and '90s.
When the sun goes down, turn us up.
98.1 and 1410 AM.
The following is a North Platte Post special presentation. It's time for American Legion Baseball on North Platte Post as well as FM 98.1 and AM 1410. It's set and, oh my God, there goes Blaze Seiler! He did it! He successfully stole home! Today's game is brought to you in part by these sponsors.
Another round sports bar and grill at River's Edge Golf Course. Premier Toyota. Let's go places. Kroll Clinic Physical Therapy and Athletic Enhancement. Smokin' Double D's at Butch's in Hershey. And the Justin Thompson Agency. American Family Insurance.
0-1 the count to Dean McIntyre. Langer has that one turned on. It's going to the gap in right center field. Landon Greeno's coming home. Oh my gosh, the Nationals have done it. They walk it off in the bottom of the seventh. Dean McIntyre.
Today's game also brought to you in part by the D&N Event Center, Mid-Plains Community College, Great Plains Health, Runza, Great Plains Foot and Ankle, Farm Bureau Financial, Larry's Glass, Dave's Place, Puro Clean.
So that's turned on by Blaze Seiler. It's going all the way. It's out of here. The Nationals have done it. Blaze Seiler has hit a home run to walk it off.
Bill Summers Ford Honda Lincoln Nissan, Great Plains Health Sports and Therapy, Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment, and Shelter Insurance, Pete Falls and Brent Rogo.
The 1-2. It's in there, strike three, and the Nationals have done it. They're going to state.
Watch today's game live at NorthPlattePost.com. Brought to you by WB's Fun Center and Brigham's.
Hey everybody, welcome here, Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. First game of the American Legion season here for us at FM 98.1 and AM 1410. Yes, the Kearney game got rained out earlier this week on Tuesday, which means we are here today with the Great Plains Health Post 163, that's going to be quite something I got to get used to. Taking on Lincoln Northstar Anderson Brothers Anderson Ford, seniors. 0-2 Lincoln Northstar is compared to the Great Plains Health Post 163, who is currently 1-3 on the season. Of course, for the side of the Great Plains Health squad, of course, they lost the first three games of their season 12-1 to Creighton Prep last Friday, and then in back-to-back games on Sunday versus Cheyenne and the Sixers, both 5-6 losses, and in equal ways possible, unfortunately, for Post 163, they gave up a lot of those games when, in all honesty, they should have won them. So a little bit of disappointment there for them. But they did take down Scottsbluff and the Zephyrs on Tuesday, 8-7. And now coming to this Grand Island tournament looking to come away with the victory. Quick Stop pregame show, 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the corner. It's time to sit down with head coach Ricky Holm when we come back here on our Quick Stop pregame show on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream, NorthPlattePost.com.
Looking for midweek fun? River's Edge Golf Club has you covered. Wednesday, test your knowledge at Trivia Night, kicking off at 7 p.m. Gather your team and show off those brainy skills. Thursday, it's Burger Night. Buy one delicious, juicy burger and get the second half off. Now that's a deal worth swinging for. And with the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to hit the greens. Call now to book your tee time. River's Edge Golf Club, where good times and great golf meet.
Hey everybody, Quick Stop pregame show here. 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the corner. I'm joined by head coach Ricky Holm for Great Plains Health Post 163 under the new banner. Coach, good to see you. It's got to reinvent the wheel in terms of the fashion this year. It's going to be odd seeing you pace the sidelines, not in your bright red attire this year, more of a purple, which as a K-State fan, you know, I'm always down for the purple. But so far, 1-3 on the season. It's actually, if you think about it in layman's terms, outside of the one game against Creighton Prep, and actually pretty close start to this season. And we'll, of course, start last weekend against the triangular Creighton Prep Cheyenne. Probably one of the most competitive triangulars you guys have ever hosted here in North Platte. Of course, a Cheyenne squad that has always been just crazy with talent, and same thing with Creighton Prep.
Yeah, obviously it was really good to get, you know, that quality of competition in town. Creighton Prep is a relationship that we've kind of cultivated since my first year here and going to them for the CWS tournament. So I think, you know, kind of them just kind of reciprocating that and coming out. So, yeah, the first one versus Creighton Prep, I mean, that's a high-quality team. They got, you know, a few D1 guys and well coached by Pat Mooney. That one was, you know, kind of a rough start for us, but then between that and then having to have the guys really work on the field for the weather, having to go put the tarp on late at night, go take it off early in the morning, and getting the field ready between them and the parents that have helped out. It was a lot of work to get those games in. I know if it was anybody other than someone that was driving 4 hours to play, we probably wouldn't have got the games in. We had to ground rule double the warning track. There was standing water in the grass. I mean, it was really wet, and a lot of work put in by the boys. And to lose 2 one-run games, first one, Landon Greeno came out a little rough and gave up a 6 spot in the first 2 innings, putting Caden Jonason, who hasn't pitched in, you know, I think since Kearney in high school. It's been a while since
I was going to say, it's been a long time since we've seen him come
and I think you could kind of tell his arm was fresh, his velo was good, was pounding the curveballs for strikes, and he kept us in the game and, you know, got it to where we ended up losing a 6-5 game, so that was a really close one. And then the second one, same thing, 6-5. Only this one we were up for majority of the way, and it was just kind of back and forth, and ended up beating us in extra innings. But really promising with that game was Jacoby Silos through all 8 innings, gave up 5 runs, 3 earned, did it in 98 pitches. That was a huge step for him as a, you know, you got to think of 14, 15-year-old whose mom drops him off at practice, and then he's going to be pitching against that quality of competition.
Cheyenne, which we know is one of the scariest teams that always comes out every single year.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things with the freshmen that we have on the seniors this year between Jacoby Silos and Cade Songster. It's never so much about talent when guys that young and looking at them to play seniors. It's more about the mentality and how they handle those nerves. And obviously there's going to be nerves no matter what when you're a young buck and you're playing up with all the older guys. But for them to be able to keep their hands steady and, you know, not have a moment be too big for them, that was something that I kind of looked to try to find and try to see from them in high school ball. And they proved it time and time again that, you know, no matter the situation, no matter the competition, they have confidence in their skill sets and are going to go out there and compete. So even though we got a couple, you know, young freshmen, they're going to play big roles on the team this year. And all of that is because they've kind of shown me that no matter the situation, you know, they're going to go out there and compete for us.
How big is it now that, you know, high school baseball is finally here at North Platte to have kind of an early scene setter for these freshmen compared to years prior when you did have some of the younger talent crop into American Legion? It took them a while to get started. How good do you think it's been for the system as a whole to now have North Platte High School, which of course you're the coach of, finally have a baseball program?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge to be able to see these guys and get, in-game reps. I felt like I've done a pretty good job of trying to watch a lot of their summer ball games before they get to high school or before we had high school, just to kind of get an idea of who is going to be coming up, who's going to help us, when they're going to help us. But with that high school season, especially with as tough of a schedule we played and as young as we were, it was kind of a weird mix of having a big senior class, but then also starting, 2 freshmen and 3 sophomores on that. So, it's kind of one of those things where you throw them in the deep end, but you're sitting there with a life preserver, making sure that they can handle the given situation that you put them in, and then giving them a chance to fail or succeed, because I think there's a benefit to, tasting failure for the first time and learning kind of how to deal with it, but then also understanding that you could succeed against, some of these bigger teams. And, I remember talking to Jacoby, I think it was after we played Creighton Prep in high school, and I was like, hey, did you ever think that this time last year you were playing against a bunch of 13-year-olds in summer baseball, and this year at the same time you'd be throwing against a bunch of Nebraska commits? So just to see that kind of huge leap, it's something that nobody's ever going to be 100% ready for, but just the more and more they do it, they're going to get, used to it and ready for it. And I try to put them into perspective, because this group of seniors were 8th graders my first year, and to have Easton Jones and Caden Jonason, who are 2 of our better players and senior leaders this year. My first year, they were young buck 8th graders that swung for state, and I remember telling Joe, there was at one point where Joni was going to be in the hole, and just the look on his face, his eyes were as big as dinner saucers. So this senior group knows what it's like to be put in situations that they may not necessarily feel that they're ready for. So I think that's been big for them, of kind of taking those young bucks under their wing and understanding, like, hey, we were all here at one point. It's all part of the maturation process, and obviously with them being freshmen, it means that it's sped up a little bit. There's not a ton of freshmen that get a bunch of innings on seniors. Those senior guys know that they're going to play huge roles on the team. So if they kind of got to be the big brother or the crazy uncle that kind of shows them how to do stuff, but I know that those are resources that they need to use, and that's big on part of the camaraderie and the culture that I'm trying to create is the young guys know the old guys. They can ask for help in any given situation, because it's probably one that those older guys have been in 100 times. So definitely benefits us to have that high school season and get 25, 26 games under our belt. Definitely had a rough year considering what we probably would have wanted to have done going in. But Easton Jones being out, not getting him back till districts was, a big kind of equalizing factor for that, because he's that one arm that we can feel confident throwing against any one team is going to keep us in it. But we had some guys step up. Cade Freeze, who has struggled the last couple years with juniors, had a really good high school season. But then, Jacoby Silos as a freshman came in. He was something that, we weren't really banking on. I remember after tryouts telling him that, we thought you were the best looking infielder, the best catcher, the best pitcher, but didn't necessarily know if he was going to be ready to help us at the varsity level. And then part between his success and some of our guys' failures kind of bumped him up and just hit the ground running and took the bull by the horns and kind of took the shortstop position, or at least infield position, and as one of our starting pitchers. He's also the only guy that throws 3 pitches for strikes out of any grade, of being able to throw fastball, changeup, curveball for strikes. And that's been, one of the biggest things for us, is understanding that if we just pound the zone and give our defense and offense a chance to compete, that's where we're going to be set up for the most chance of success. So he was one that, I kind of locked on early on, because it's like, if you can find someone that can throw strikes and isn't going to get, too nervous by the situation, that's a guy that's going to be able to help you out. So definitely saw some things in high school that I liked and am, excited to build off of. But also, too, I think it's going to help our team this summer that we kind of had that taste of failure during high school ball, because I think this group now is going to play with a chip on their shoulder. And I think we're more dangerous when we have a chip on our shoulder instead of thinking that we're good and that we're going to be able to walk through some guys. So, started off so far 1-3, versus quality Cheyenne and Creighton Prep teams. Our 1 win versus Scotts Bluff. They're going to be better this year. And then right into the weekend, this weekend, where, we'll get Northstar and Pius, which were two teams that we lost to during the high school season, so get a chance to tag them back. Standing Bear, who was two of our wins, we'll play them again, so I'm sure they're going to be looking to get even with us. And then probably the best of the whole lot of Southwest, who was in the state for last year for Legion. So, just excited for the opportunity and kind of, excited to hopefully put these guys in the right position and see how much success we can get this summer.
As you said, got Northstar up here one today versus them. Of course, team that's been a new, I would say historic rival, but really has been that, funny Lincoln rival that has ballooned into something more than just a little one-on-one competition here. Really take me through some of the keys you have for today that you want to see this squad really take control of so that you can really start this tournament off with a W.
Yeah, I don't know why it is, but for some reason, Northstar is always that one that we get chippy with. They get chippy with us.
Which is funny because you think it'd be either Hastings,
yeah,
Island.
and I mean, in those league games definitely have a level to it, but I think Northstar would be our honorary league opponent, just because since my first year here, we've had parents get into it, we've had players get into it, we've had coaches get into it. They've always been close games for the most part, so it'll definitely be one of those, even though they're a team from Lincoln, we're going to be somewhat familiar with them. Coach Rick Idias is a guy that, I've networked and tried to get those games set up for high school ball as well. So we know that they're always going to be physical. They're going to be a quality opponent. We're going to have Easton Jones going on the bump tonight. Him just kind of getting his feet under him still after missing majority of high school season. So he'll be on a pitch count probably around, 60 would be max. I'd probably like to try to keep him below that and kind of keep building him up and kind of go from there. I know with we have a lot of starting pitchers. We don't necessarily have a lot of relievers. So especially early on, until some guys kind of, take the lead, a lot of our relievers are going to be our starters. And that's going to, put the onus on me to kind of, keep track of the pitch counts and staying, ahead of the arm injuries and making sure that we're staying as healthy as we can so we can get through this season. But we definitely have some arms that can get some outs. It's going to be kind of my job as a coach to kind of make sure we put them in the right situations for the best chance of success.
Coach, thank you so much always for stopping on by. We'll have more, of course. We can come back for our Quick Stop pregame show.
Get ready for the ultimate fun day out. Start at Brigham's Tap Room with a brand new menu you won't want to miss. Catch all of the action on game day with your favorite teams on our big screens. Pair the excitement with amazing drinks, and you've got the ultimate game day experience at Brigham's Tap Room. And when you're ready for more fun, head over to Wild Bill's Fun Center. Dive into our action-packed arcade, knock down pins in our bowling alley, and gear up for an epic laser tag battle. There's something for everyone at Wild Bill's, where the fun never stops.
Every step should feel great, but if foot pain, bunions, heel spurs, or injuries are slowing you down, Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialist is here to help. Their expert team of doctors provide top-notch care, from routine foot health to advanced treatments and surgery. Whether you're an athlete, always on the go, or just tired of aching feet, they'll get you back on your feet pain-free. Step into comfort. Call Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialist today, or see them online at gpfootandankle.com.
Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and is now bringing those services to the North Platte area. Residential services, respite services, community services, and even day services. Hands of Heartland offers a full array of services from 24-hour supports to just a few hours per week. Learn more today online at handsofheartland.com. That's handsofheartland.com. Hands of Heartland, providing creative opportunities to live and grow.
For over 85 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services agents have built relationships with you, one conversation at a time. And we're as committed as ever to providing you with that level of service. As part of your community, we're here for you, answering insurance questions and helping make sure your financial goals are on track.
In North Platte, visit Jay Engel at fbfs.com/find-and-agent.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Welcome in, everybody, here, Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream, North Platte Post. FortPlains.com. Great Plains Health Post 163 taking on Anderson Ford Lincoln Northstar in the very first game of the season for us here at NorthPlattePost.com. Fourth game of the season for North Platte. Well, not fourth game, excuse me, fifth time this season that the North Platte American Legion team will be off to the races. Of course, not FMBO Nationals anymore. Great Plains Health 165 is the name for the new squad this year, but a lot of same old names that you have grown accustomed to, which then gets us into our Double Dips Ice Creamery starting lineup. Double Dips Ice Creamery in the historic Canteen District in North Platte offers 24+ different flavors of hand-dipped ice cream served in a variety of ways. Double Dips also offers homemade waffle cones and bowls alongside homemade fudge and freshly baked desserts. We'll start on the visiting side today, which is going to be, of course, Lincoln Northstar. They have Austin McClipp will be starting at third base, leading off with Sam Schaefer in center field in the 2-hole. Easton Westland at shortstop, adding 3. Cade Klein catching with Preston Graff on the mound during the high school season, 2-2 with a 3.20 ERA for Preston Graff. Jamison Lance at first base with Landon Steiger in right field. Brant Warner at second base, and then Jaden Johnson in left field for Lincoln Northstar, Anderson Ford Lincoln Northstar. Now for North Platte and post 163, Caden Johnson in center field, Ty Hanneborg at shortstop today, Landon Greeno at first, Easton Jones pitching, Dean McIntyre catching, Jackson Peters in right field, Connor Stifler at second, Jacoby Silos at third, and Tyler Townsend in left field. So we're seeing a lot of roster line changes. Of course, Easton Jones getting really the first start of his pitching season here today against Lincoln Northstar, as he's been out for most of the year with an injury to his knee that he suffered towards the end of the basketball season. It was originally diagnosed as an injury that would have kept him out through the entire Legion schedule, but after a second opinion, all he needed was a cleanup, got that knee cleaned up, came back towards the end of the North Platte High baseball season for the Bulldogs, and then now really is finally getting almost full motion in here with Great Plains Health and the Legion squad. He will be starting on the mound today. We, of course, know how dangerous Easton Jones can be. You can only look to a year ago when he and Jack Polk were such a crazy 1-2 combo for, the FMBO Nationals at the time, and he really was that setup closer for the team. He really has a high velocity on his fastball. When you looked at him last year, the question and the concern was always, can he bring it down in terms of his control? Because we can know some games he can really pound that strike zone with that fastball. We've seen a couple of times throughout his career that he has struggled to consistently hit the strike zone. Now, he's had a little bit, of course, ample time and a longer offseason to get prepped and ready for his first pitching start here today. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to go about that, and maybe we are going to see that revamped Easton Jones, like he take that next step like we did with Cade Freeze during the Bulldog baseball season. Now for Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar, a team that we have seen so many times before. It's so funny because originally, when you think of the Legion schedule, you think of teams like Kearney. You think of Grand Island, 5 Points Bank, the Chiefs of Hastings and Grand Island and what they produce. And you would think those are probably the most hostile of rivalries. But no, really, it's Lincoln Northstar that has really become the perennial rivalry for the now Great Plains Health Post 163 squad. Which is funny because you wouldn't have expected such a rivalry. But, man, anytime these two teams play, it's fireworks. And recently it has been North Platte that has come out on top against Lincoln Northstar. But both these teams kind of in a, I don't want to say retooling era, but still trying to find their footing this early in the season. Again, North Platte 1-3 to start this season. They started the year 0-3 as they faced both Creighton Prep and Cheyenne and the Sixers, two teams that, well, we all know are some really crazy competition. Creighton Prep has a lot of D1 commits specifically that are going to the Huskers later this year. And then, of course, Cheyenne, we know the storied history of the players that they've sent to the collegiate level, many of them going to Mississippi State. We had one last year, the closer going to Texas, was topping close to 100 miles per hour on his pitches. So we know that Great Plains Health has had a tough start to this season in terms of the competition they've played in the victory and loss column, but they have played a lot of these games pretty close, and in many instances have had opportunities to come through with victories. It's just the same motto that we've all been accustomed to the last couple of years. They can win some games versus opponents they shouldn't have won, and then they'll lose some games against opponents that they should have beat. So interesting to see how, after these first 4 games of the season, how can Post 163 really get their claws into the season and find decent footing, because it's not going to really get any easier. You got Northstar today, you have Standing Bear tomorrow, and then you have Lincoln Southwest as well, and you have Lincoln Pius as well. So teams that have gotten the upper hand against the high school squad now, which essentially transitions into the Legion team, so it's almost like just a continuation of everybody, but teams that have gotten the upper hand against North Platte, as they will now try to see maybe now they can be the ones that get the upper hand against them. And then Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar so far 0-2. A team just like North Platte this year, looking to kind of retool a lot of the guys that have been stapled story members of this squad, have, of course, moved on to their college collegiate life, and now they're trying to retool. But that doesn't mean that they are not a scary opponent. Of course, you travel back to the high school season, which really wasn't that far ago, and man, oh man, it was a good season for Lincoln Northstar from a pitching standpoint for today's pitcher, which, of course, is going to go on over to Preston Graff. Graff, 3.12 ERA in his 8 appearances. He has a 2-2 record in those appearances and was the best pitcher, close to the best pitcher on that Northstar team. He was just really, I think, half a third of an inning behind Sam Schaefer, 33 2/3 innings pitched. He had 21 strikeouts, but did have 24 walks, which did lead the team. The sophomore, now a junior for Lincoln Northstar. It'll be interesting to see how the dog, well, I hate to say the dog's going to get me this year. It is really going to give me, not the Nationals anymore, not the Dogs either. Great Plains Health is going to give me. I'm going to get into it. But it's going to be interesting to see how can North Platte really get past a great young pitcher, because we've seen this squad in prior years, specifically here at Duncan Field, has had trouble against teams that don't start with the name Hastings. We all know Hastings is the predominant team that gets the upper hand against North Platte here at Duncan Field, but in holistic terms, Duncan Field has just not been a great place for any North Platte baseball team. And with a team like Lincoln Northstar that has a very young pitcher who had a pretty strong season for Lincoln Northstar last season for their high school squad, it'll be interesting to see how the Dogs can be able to decipher that, because they really picked it up towards the end of the year, if you remember correctly, of course, beating Norfolk in convincing fashion, and then almost, just coming up a bit shy of beating Papillion La Vista South in the district game to maybe have a chance at state. So offensively, they've been looking on an upward swing if you're trying to transition from high school into Legion, but as we all know, once that Legion season starts, it's almost like a whole new game is being played, and we've seen many of times this North Platte squad has always gotten off to a relatively slow start. Let's see if they can turn that around here today against Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar. Great Plains Health, Post 163, taking on Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar. That was our Quick Stop pregame show. 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop, always open right around the corner. So Easton Jones on the mound for really the first time this baseball season. That's including high school. We know how elite he can be. He was part of that dynamic 1-2 punch a season ago between him and Jack Polk. Now essentially becoming the de facto ace. Going to be a lot of pressure on Easton this season as, of course, going to college next year, University of Phoenix, and more importantly, getting his first starts this year. Really hasn't had a season to really lock in, which is good and bad, because, of course, you would wish that he can maybe have pitched a couple more times during the regular season to get warmed up. I say regular season, but during the high school season to get warmed up to the Legion season. But also that means he's really fresh coming into not only today's game, but this Legion season as a whole. So it's a double-edged sword, and, of course, being part of the senior leadership of this squad, we all know the amount of pressure he's putting on himself. So it'll be interesting to see how Easton handles it and what he can do going forward today. He'll be facing off against Austin McClipp, who will be leading off for Lincoln Northstar. Of course, if we hone back to just a couple weeks ago to the high school baseball season, McClipp averaging a .310 batting average with 9 RBIs, 3 doubles, 1 triple for Northstar. And now will be the first batter that Easton Jones will be facing in today's ball game, as we're just ready to get underway for the first game of this Grand Island tournament, which really isn't a tournament. We're just playing the games in, so nobody will officially be crowned, quote-unquote, a champion of this tournament, as Jones will stare down Dean McIntyre's glove and fire his first pitch, a fastball that's low for ball number 1. I want to know the count now to McClipp. Sam Schaefer on deck with Easton Westland in the hole for Anderson Ford, as that next pitch from Jones is once again just bit outside, this time at around the chest area. As the next pitch, 2-0. That one's popped up, going into center field. Long jump for Caden Johnson, but just easy enough for him to go and grab it in center field. And there's out number 1 for this North Platte defense. As here's Sam Schaefer, the best pitcher for Lincoln Northstar last season. Schaefer, .314 batting average, 10 RBIs, 3 doubles, 1 triple for this Lincoln Northstar squad. Only had 18 extra base hits as he clobbers that one out to left field, but there to get it with plenty of distance, Tyler Townsend. So Easton Jones with a quick 2 up, 2 down in this top of the first inning in his first real starting appearance for North Platte High School. Oh, I did it again. There you go. My golly. For Great Plains Health, post 163. Here's Easton Westland for Anderson Ford as he looks to lay the bunt out. Pops that one up. Easton Jones easily gets under it, and that's how this inning comes to an end. A quick 1, 2, 3. Top of the first inning. We're now going to go quickly to the bottom of the first. Still tied 0-0 on our little scoreboard here. When we come back, FM 98.1, AM 1410, our quick stop scoreboard on, again, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Hungry and you don't want to cook. Time for Dave's.
You know how it goes. It's 6 p.m. already and nothing's planned for dinner. Let Dave's Place take care of it. With dine-in and carry-out, your family's meal is taken care of.
And Dave's Place has the big game on.
A family atmosphere with plenty of TVs to watch all the matchups you want. With homemade pizza, wings of almost any flavor, and nightly drink specials, Dave's Place won't let you down for dinner.
Dave's Place, 1510 East 4th Street, North Platte, or online at davesplacemp.com.
Whoop, whoop.
Great Plains Health Orthopedics in North Platte is ready to serve you with board-certified orthopedic surgeons and a team of medical professionals who specialize in hip, knee, and shoulder joint replacements and revisions, minor to complex hand injuries, sports medicine for both the serious athlete and the weekend warrior, new and innovative operative and non-operative procedures, and work-related injuries. Same-week appointments are available. Call Great Plains Health Orthopedics today.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health. We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Save money at the pump at Quick Stop with the Dino Pay app. Dino Pay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings to Sinclair Dino Pay, saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and for real shakes and smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
Quick Stop.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field, FM 98.1 AM 1410 video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. Bottom of the first inning, Caden Johnson up to bat for Great Plains Health Post 163. Again, our half inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann of the Fortifying Group. You can check out Kevin McGann in the Fortifying Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Sweet Pea, as well as our other sponsors for today's game. Another round bar and grill where fun meets fine dining. As Johnson will pop that one up on over to the dugout to Lincoln Northstar. And it's out of play foul for a quick 0-2 count. Of course, Caden Johnson leading off once again. Didn't really have a spectacular high school season until you really get to the latter half where he really started to pick it up. At one point was below 150 batting average. Ended with 262 on the year, with 21 RBIs. Will be leading off for the Dogs as that next pitch from Preston Graff is down low for ball one. Graff, the high school season, 3.12 ERA for Lincoln Northstar. Sophomore, now junior Graff's 1-2 pitch. In there, strike three as down goes Caden Johnson looking for the first strikeout today for Lincoln Northstar and Preston Graff as here's Ty Hanneborg, also back to his usual spot, number 2 in the order, as we've seen so many times over the years as the everyday second baseman. 271 batting average during the high school season, 14 RBIs to go along with 4 doubles as that fastball from Preston Graff is just outside for ball number 1. Looked like he was right in the zone, but umpire calls differently. 1-0 to Ty Hanneborg. Our wicked fast scoreboard, 0-0 in the bottom of the first inning. On deck, Landon Greeno with Easton Jones in the hole. The 1-0. Foul tipped off by Ty Hanneborg for strike number 1. 1-2 the count. Old reliable Landon Greeno on deck with Easton Jones in the hole for Great Plains Health. 1-1. Another one that's upstairs, this time outside of the zone. From Preston Graff, again, had more walks than he did strikeouts. 24 walks, 21 strikeouts. That fastball, once again, does not connect to the place that he wants it to go to, and it's almost in the turf. Ball 3, and just like that, Ty Hanneborg staring down the barrel of a walk with 1 out in the bottom of the first. 3-1 pitch, that's upstairs, almost to the head. And on over to first goes one Ty Hanneborg, and here comes old reliable Landon Greeno. Fantastic baseball season for the high school. 388 batting average, 15 RBIs, 5 doubles for the everyday first baseman. Has the speedy Ty Hanneborg at first, who we know is a steal threat, and probably will be seeing Coach test the catching from Northstar as that off-speed change-ups in there. Strike number 1 to Landon Greeno. Easton Jones on deck, Dean McIntyre in the hole. Of course, the scariest part of the lineup for North Platte High School. As that one's going to be turned into left field. It goes to the opposite side, and that's going to be extra bases potentially for Landon Greeno. The big man's going on over to second, and that is a double for the first baseman, Landon Greeno. I told you, old reliable once again getting off where he, continuing where he left off for the high school season, where he was just absolutely racking it up for North Platte High. And now there's 2 runners in scoring position in the bottom of the first inning for North Platte. For North Platte, I almost said high school again. I'm trying to get myself out of the preseason. 1 out, bottom of the first. Again, Easton Jones up to bat. Only had 4 games played and 11 plate appearances where he accrued only 2 hits. Now with runners in scoring position at second and third for Great Plains Health, what can he do as he swings and misses for strike number 1? Of course, him and Caden Johnson attending the same university next year and not too far away from Tyler Townsend, who's also going to Arizona. 0-1 the count now from Preston Graff. Next pitch. That fastball once again into the turf for ball 1. 1-1 with the count, 1 out. As Easton Jones trying to be the first member to strike blood in this game. As he turns on one with a loud hit. Foul down the third base side. Strike number 2, 1-2 the count. Jones didn't have any RBIs again for the high school season as he was out for a majority of it with that knee injury. As here comes the 1-2 from Preston Graff. Oh boy, I mean, that one just squeaking outside of the zone around the knees for ball 2. It was very, very close to being called strike 3 and the second strikeout for Preston Graff, but not going to go that way as the 2-2. Curveball is going to be foul tipped off by Easton Jones, so it's going to still be a 2-2 count, but time will be called as it took a nasty bounce off of Caden Klein, the catcher. I believe the bat of Easton Jones bounced off of Klein, and he's going to go to the side and I think get a drink of water real quick. A scary moment there as Dean McIntyre walks out to give the home plate umpire some new baseballs. Still 2 runners in scoring position for Great Plains Health. Post 163, Greeno at second, Hanneborg at third. Klein's all ready to rock and roll, and Easton Jones will step back into the batter's box. 2-2 the count, 1 out here, as Graff will receive the sign from Klein that he likes, and deliverer said 2-2 pitch. Oh boy, that is very far away again. The command from Preston Graff off to a tough start in this ball game as Easton Jones now staring down the barrel, potentially of a walk. 3-2 as Graff delivers. That one will go into right field for a base hit. 1 run will score, and that'll be it as that's an RBI single for Easton Jones, his first RBI here in today's game. And just like that, second hit for North Platte High School. I'm doing it again for side of Great Plains Health. Post 163 is, here's Dean McIntyre. 286 batting average, 15 RBIs, 7 doubles, a triple to his name. Been a very consistent contributor to the Legion squad for 2 seasons now, and we still get 1 more with him. As he swings and misses, that's a passed up ball. It's getting away from Klein, and there's Landon Greeno coming home. And another run comes across for Great Plains Health. Puts Easton Jones to second. And now it's 2-0 on our wicked fast scoreboard with only 1 out in this bottom of the first inning. As Graff really struggling to find good command. As there goes Easton Jones, that's a run into center field. There's another hit from McIntyre, and easily walking home is Tommy Haggart, who checks in, correction, for Easton Jones. But that's an RBI single for Dean McIntyre. His first hit, another run comes across. It is 3-0. As now courtesy running comes Ty Davis for Dean McIntyre. As here's Jackson Peters. Had a strong, I keep talking about strong season. You want to talk about somebody who took a nice step, sophomore Jackson Peters. 288 batting average with 8 RBIs as well as a double, 2 doubles to his name and a triple. And we know when he gets onto the base pads, fireworks happen with his speed. Has Connor Stifler on deck and the young Jacoby Silos in the hole. So a very lengthy list of youth on this team as that one's popped up over to shallow second base as Warner gets under it but gets called off by Jamison Lance. And there's out number 2 following the pop-up from Jackson Peters for second out of this inning. 3-0 the lead on our wicked fast scoreboard. Ty Davis at first, courtesy running for Dean McIntyre. And here's Connor Stifler. Tough season to start for him. At one point was 0 for 25 at the plate, but really turned it on towards the end of the year. That'll be a bouncer on over to short. Picked up by Westland. Hard throw to first, and that's how this inning will come to an end. But 3 runs did come across for North Platte on 3 hits. No errors from Lincoln Northstar. We're going to the top of the second inning when we come back here to Duncan Field on FM 98.1. AM 1410 and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
North Platte and beyond, your home just got safer and more comfortable. Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment has what you need, from wheelchairs to lift chairs, mobility scooters, and more. Conveniently located at 220 West Leota Street, Suite 1, right next to Great Plains Urgent Care. Their expert team is ready to help you move with ease. Call 308-568-8510 today and take the first step toward comfort, independence, and a better quality of life.
Spring is here. The sun is shining, flowers are blooming, and every time the wind blows, you feel it inside. And that foggy glass? No, that's not morning dew. It's a sign it's time for an upgrade. Good news. Larry's Glass in North Platte, a locally and veteran-owned business, has the expertise to upgrade those old windows with crystal clear views and energy efficiency to keep your home comfortable all year round. Enjoy spring without the indoor breeze. Call Larry's Glass today or stop by 211 West 5th in North Platte, where quality meets clarity.
Welcome back here, Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410 on our Wicked Fast scoreboard. It's currently 3-0 in favor of Great Plains Health, post 163 over Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for North Platte. No runs, no hits, no errors for Lincoln Northstar. Again, half-inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Sweet Pete. As well as our other sponsors here for today's game, Justin Thompson with American Family Insurance. His first pitch from Easton Jones into Caden Klein's down low for ball number 1. Also, big shout out to other sponsor today, Dr. Chris Kroll and his crew at Kroll Clinic, located at the Westfield Shopping Center in North Platte and McCook, where they specialize in sports injuries. They're going to get you back in the game faster. Currently a 1-1 count to Caden Klein. Again, took that nasty little hit just a half inning ago. 2-1 now the count from a foul ball off of Easton Jones. Following Klein, Preston Graff, and Jamison Lance. Swing and a miss from Klein for strike number 2. Klein, during the baseball season, .258 batting average for high school, 17 RBIs, 3 doubles. As Jones, 2-2. Big off speed is off the mark. Tight inside for ball 3, 3-2. Big curve. Cannot find the placement. Now a full count to the catcher Klein. As that one's once again popped up, going behind the press box and drifting towards my pickup. It's one thing about Duncan Field. Your car is right in the line of fire, but also right in the line of fire of a train. 3-2 pitch from Easton Jones. Another one that's popped up, going on over to first base. Landon Greeno trying to get up underneath it. Oh, he can't make the grab at around the fence line, so that's second foul ball for Caden Klein. Again, Jones trying to stay under his pitch count for today. Talked with head coach Ricky Holm, of course, on our Quick Stop pregame show. He's aiming around 60 pitches for Easton. Again, trying to come back from that knee injury that kept him out basically all of the baseball season for high school. 3-2. Another off speed that's too tight inside, and there's ball 4 in the first walk today for Easton Jones. As here comes Preston Graff. Graff, one of the better hitters for Northstar during the high school season with a .351 batting average. Did only have 5 RBIs and 3 doubles to his name in the 24 games he played, but strong average overall as that fastball from Easton Jones is just going to pull a little out of the zone for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Jamison Lance on deck. Landon Steiger in the hole for Lincoln Northstar. 3-0 lead for Great Plains Health. Post 163. Great jump going on over from Klein. The throw to second is not in time from Dean McIntyre. Great jump from Caden Klein to successfully steal second base. But more impressive, great throw from Dean McIntyre. I mean, Klein got a fantabulous jump from first base, but McIntyre with the powerful throw almost got the out as that fastball from Jones is in the turf for ball 3. It's 3-0 the count now to Preston Graff as Jones staring down the barrel of back-to-back walks here to start the second inning. Wind up. Good bounce-back pitch, though, from Easton Jones. Little fire, little up in the zone, but still in for strike number one on a fastball. 3-1 the count. Another pitch, another fastball, another strike. So back-to-back good pitches from Easton Jones. 3-2 now to Preston Graff. The runner in scoring position at second base for Lincoln Northstar. 3-2. Oh, and it's just going to be pulled outside of the last second. Late break on that off speed. And it's ball number 4, and there's a walk on over for Preston Graff. And here's Jamison Lance. As Lance, .218 batting average during the high school season, did have 13 RBIs. For Northstar, has the runners at first and second. Looks to lay a bunt down with nobody out. Bunted foul for strike number 1. Pretty wise move that we've seen many of times this season in the high school level with nobody out. Get the easy one out and advance both runners into scoring position. As Jones will take some time and readjust his belt. Or more importantly, his pitching device to, of course, read the pitches. 0-1 now the count to Jamison Lance. As Greeno playing into the very shallow into the grass, as another one will be fouled off. As Lance is trying to foul it down the third base side, and Jacoby Silos can't play too far forward with a runner at second base for Lincoln Northstar. He's almost in the base running line. As now they're going to send Lance to bat. The infield now playing to their normal positions as Jones will step back and will call Dean McIntyre to the mound to have a discussion with him. Again, nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Great Plains Health post 163 leading 3-0 over Anderson Ford Lincoln Northstar. First game of this Grand Island tournament. Games will be at Ryder Park tomorrow against Pius, as well as Lincoln Standing Bear. And back on Sunday here to Duncan Field against Lincoln Southwest. That off speed way outside. Ball 1 to Jamison Lance. Landon Steiger on deck. Brant Warner in the hole for Northstar. As Easton Jones with his 23rd pitch delivers. Oh my good golly, that one, another tough break at the last second on an off speed. Just falls out of the zone. 2-2 the count. Jamison Lance. That fastball will pull McIntyre away from home plate. Now 3-2 the count to Lance. Nobody out. A walk here would load the bases for Northstar. Jones really trying to dig deep and find that first strikeout this inning. The pitch. Oh, and it's outside. There's ball 4, and the bases are now loaded for Lincoln Northstar as 3 straight walks by Easton Jones here in this top of the second inning have now loaded the bases for Anderson Ford Lincoln Northstar. Landon Steiger up to bat. Steiger, .375 batting average in the 18 games he played and 43 plate appearances he had. Only had 5 RBIs. As there's a good fastball from Jones that will go right down the center for strike number 1. Bases loaded, a force out at any bag, and a potential double play opportunity also. That off speed is going to be fouled off by Steiger. Was in front of it for strike 2. 0-2 the count now. With bases loaded, still nobody out in the top of the second. North Platte leading 3-0 on our Wicked Fast scoreboard. Jones's 0-2 pitch. That one, going to go into left field for a base hit. 1 run will score, potentially 2, as Townsend's going to throw it on home to Dean McIntyre. Nope, the throw on over to second might get an easy out for Lance. And they will. Overextension from Jamison Lance, but that is a 2-run RBI single into left field from Landon Steiger. Great Plains Health will get one runner out at second, being Lance, but 2 runs do come across for Lincoln Northstar, as now it's 3-2 on our Weekend Fast scoreboard with Brant Warner up to bat. As Easton Jones' first pitch into him is swung on and missed for strike number 1. Runner at first being Landon Steiger. Jaden Johnson on deck, then back to the top of the order with Austin McClipp. 29 pitches for Easton Jones with a pickoff attempt will get Steiger back. We're almost halfway through Jones's potential start today, as Coach hoping he can go maybe a little longer than 3 innings. Ooh, as that fastball is going to bounce into the turf and get away from Dean McIntyre and move Steiger over to second base on the passed up ball. 1-1 the count now to Brant Warner. One out in this bottom of the second inning. 3-2 the lead for Great Plains Health. Post 163 over Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar. As Jones trying to get back into a good rhythm after giving up 2 runs. Beautiful pitch. Still's in the zone, but just far enough away to make Brant Warner second guess, or at least hesitate, and with that it's 1-2 the count now to Warner as Jones trying to search for that second out. Delivers. Oh, beautiful curveball, and just like that, down goes Brant Warner. He was way ahead of that pitch. And now here comes Jaden Johnson. That's the pitch that Easton Jones has been trying to set up all day today against batters when he's had an advantageous count. And that was the first time he used it to perfection and found the right cut on it. As now trying to find the final out. Back-to-back off speeds that melts beautifully into the zone for strike number 1 to Jaden Johnson. Johnson, .224 batting average during the high school season. 12 RBIs. Fastball blown right past Johnson for strike 2 as Jones really turning the heat up now and really getting into a good rhythm after, again, giving up 2 runs on the 1 hit 2 batters ago. 0-2. Fastball this time fouled off by Jaden Johnson, so we'll still stay at an 0-2 count. Austin McClipp on deck. Sam Schaefer in the hole for Lincoln Northstar. That's 1-2 in the batting order up next. 0-2 with 2 outs, runner in scoring position at second. The delivery. Oh, another one that's big swing and a miss. Gets past Ian McIntyre. The throw is not going to be on over to first as McIntyre unable to really handle it well at the backstop. It would have been a beautiful strike 3 for Easton Jones to end the inning, but a drop third strike means that on over to first Jaden Johnson goes, and that puts runners at the corners now for McClipp, who flew out to Caden Johnson to lead off this ball game an inning ago. First real mistake we've seen Dean McIntyre commit all season. He's been a stalwart behind home plate for not only North Platte High School, but at the time FMBO. That one going out to center field again. Caden Johnson coming on, gets there with plenty of time, and that's how this inning comes to an end. 2 runs did come across on 1 hit. We go now to the bottom of the second inning. Can Great Plains Health get back into it here? You'll have to find out. We come back. FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Chris Kroll. At Kroll Clinic, we specialize in all areas of rehab, from daily aches and pains to sports injuries, motor vehicle accidents, or post-surgical care. We're the area's premier facility for concussion recovery. Visit us at KrollClinic.com, that's KRULL Clinic.com, or come visit us at Westfield Shopping Center in North Platte. We are committed to getting you back in the game of life without those annoying facility fees.
Starting something new can be challenging. At Mid-Plains Community College, we see what it takes to build your dreams and through our educational instruction, make them a reality. Whether you are learning a new skill that can take your professional career to the next level, or you're looking to change your life through our educational offerings, you can build a successful future. Enroll today and begin transforming your future at mpcc.edu. That's mpcc.edu.
Welcome back here, Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. Jacoby Silos up to bat for the first time today as he swings and misses for strike number 1 against Preston Graff. Our half-inning breaks brought to you in part by, of course, Kevin McGann in the Fortify Group. You can check out Kevin McGann in the Fortify Group. Its location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As well as our other sponsors for today's game, Smoky Double D's at Butch's in Hershey. Locally owned and operated where they smoke their own meats low and slow to bring you award-winning barbecue. As well as Hands of Heartland. Hands of Heartland offers support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998, and they're bringing those services to the North Platte area. 2-1 to the third baseman Silos as he swings and misses on a pitch he was behind on. It's now 2-2 the count. Of course, Silos this season for the Dogs is, I'll wait for this next pitch from Preston Graff. Swing and a miss as down goes Jacoby Silos for second strikeout today for Preston Graff. Silos 257 batting average during the high school season with 7 RBIs as a freshman. Now brings Tyler Townsend up to bat. Of course, Silos essentially doing what one Logan Hayes did during his first season of baseball. Comes up through the juniors program as well as the JV squad and kind of just solidified himself as a reliable option for Coach Ricky Holman. He turned that, Jacoby Silos did, into a lot of starts towards the end of the season as Townsend fouls that one off loudly for strike number 1. 179 batting average for Tyler Townsend during the high school year in his 46 plate appearances. Had 5 RBIs and 1 double. He'll turn on another one and foul it right back to the parking lot for a second straight time. It's 1-2 now the count. It's Graff up to 30 pitches himself, 18 strikes, 12 balls. Caden Johnson on deck, Ty Hanneborg in the hole. 1-2. That off speed. Just like with Easton Jones, the last second takes a sharp dive out of the zone. 2-2 the count now with 1 out. It's bottom of the second inning, a 3-2 lead for Great Plains Health, post 163. Townsend going to get that one into right field for a single past the outreaching glove of Brant Warner. Another hit for North Platte. And now a runner on over at first with Ian Johnson up to bat here. He struck out looking in his first plate appearance against Preston Graff. Has Townsend at first, potential steal threat. As Graff will get set and deliver. There goes Tyler Townsend, great jump. Throw was in the dirt, and unfortunately for Caden Klein, he had to double punt it. And with that hesitation, Tyler Townsend will successfully steal second base. 1-0 count to Caden Johnson as Townsend now taking a second as his face ran into the bag, it looks like. He's holding his jaw and his nose. Of course, we know Townsend already had an injury running the bases towards the end of the year where he jammed his finger pretty nicely leading into the district game against Norfolk. As time is still being taken, and is he bleeding? Nope, he's all good to go, and with that, we're ready to play once again. Caden Johnson facing Graff for a second time, a 1-0 count with 1 out in this bottom of the second inning. As Graff, long glance at second, delivers. Johnson turns that one into center field, but there to get it easily is Sam Schaefer, and that's how the second out will come about for North Platte. Is up comes Ty Hanneborg, walked in his first plate appearance. Later came around thanks to a nice hit from Landon Greeno. Objection. Easton Jones. As still a runner in scoring position. Senior Tyler Townsend at second. Tyler Townsend looking to steal third as swing and a miss. Throw on over to third. He's safe. As there's a successfully stolen base from Tyler Townsend. It's 2 in a row for Townsend in this inning. 0-1 count to Ty Hanneborg, the shortstop today. As 0-1. That one going to go bouncing into the glove of Brant Warner. Oh, it gets away from the first baseman, Jamison Lance. As an easy play from Brant Warner results in an error from Lance at first base, and another run comes across for Great Plains Health.
Up to bat, number 20, Reno.
Unbelievable. As now it's 4-2 on our Wicked Fast scoreboard in favor of North Platte. As gone over at first, Ty Handelborg following the error as Landon Greeno will turn on one for strike number 1. 0-1 the count now. First error today to be committed by Northstar. Gets Hanneborg at first, who again is a steal threat. Greeno doubled in his last plate appearance against Preston Graff. There's a pickoff attempt that'll get Ty Hanneborg back to first base. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Great Plains Health. Post 163. Another pickoff attempt will get Hanneborg back. 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error for the side of Anderson Ford. Lincoln Northstar. Graff with the 0-1. There goes Hanneborg. That one slicing on over into the gap in left center, but easily getting there is Jaden Johnson to end this inning. 1 run did come across on an error from Lincoln Northstar. We're now going to the top of the 3rd inning with, of course, North Platte and Great Plains Health. Post 163 leading 4-2. We come back to Duncan Field, FM 98.1. AM 1410 and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
Buying a car is not always the most pleasant experience, but it doesn't have to be that way. A quarter of a century. That's how long Premier Toyota has been in the North Platte community, delivering a car buying experience that's friendly, easy, and fun. Check PremierAutoplex.com first, then stop by 2600 South Willow Street in North Platte. See Premier Toyota for your next new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Premier Toyota at PremierAutoplex.com, just south of I-80, North Platte.
PuroClean of North Platte delivers fast water, mold, and fire damage restoration services to the North Platte area. PuroClean knows how challenging those times can be to you and to your family. Their Nebraska-based experts have a winning, reliable combination of training and equipment partnerships. Local, fast service in the North Platte area. Their average on-site time is 60 minutes, and they'll coordinate with your local insurance provider. Give PuroClean a call now at 1-800-775-7876 and schedule a visit from a member of the team at PuroClean in North Platte.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. Top of the 3rd inning. As currently Great Plains Health leading 4-2 on our Wicked Fast scoreboard. If you download the My Phillips 66 app yet, if not, you're missing out on so much savings with Wicked Fast. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Great Plains Health, post 163. 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar. Also, thank you to our Sports Zone sponsors for today's game. Premier Toyota. Premier Toyota just south of I-80 in North Platte. They invite you to stop out, take a test drive of all their new and pre-owned vehicles. Premier Toyota, let's go places. Currently a now 2-0 count to Sam Schaefer. That's now morphed into a 3-0 count from Easton Jones. His next pitch is going to drop in on a fastball for strike one. It's 3-1 now, the count. On deck, Easton Westland and Caden Klein. That one slow roller on over to Connor Stifler at second. Mishandles the ball. Throw to first will not be in time, and that's going to be the first error today for North Platte, as Stifler getting a little out of position. Normally has been the everyday third baseman for the Bulldogs all season. Fumbles away the baseball, and an easy grounder to him. And with that, Schaefer gets on over to first. First error today for North Platte, as Westland popped out to Easton Jones in his last plate appearance as a runner at first. Check swing as that fastball is in the zone for strike number one from Easton. Caden Klein on deck, Preston Graff in the hole for Northstar, trailing by 2, 4-2. As top of the third, pickoff attempts will get Schaefer back. Still a 0-1 count to Easton Westland. Another pickoff attempt gets Schaefer back. 0-1 with one out here in this top of the third inning. Jones. Long wait, will fire. Turned on, but heavily fouled off of the stadium for second strike of this at-bat. Oh, and 2 the count with nobody out. Runner at first for Northstar being Schaefer. Another pickoff attempt gets Sam Schaefer back. Very, very close to him getting out. Still nobody out in the top of the third inning. Here comes Easton Jones. 0-2 pitch. There goes the runner. That one chopper up into Easton Jones's glove. Throwing over to first. Throwing over to second. And they almost got Schaefer at second, but an easy ground out from Westland. And there's one out here in this top of the third inning. Caden Klein walked in his last plate appearance for Northstar. Has a runner in scoring position being Sam Schaefer. 45 pitches for Easton Jones. So again, nearing the end of his outing today. If coach decides to keep him to that word, beautiful off speed as Klein swings very far ahead for strike one. See nobody in the bullpen for North Platte. I guess it's all up to how is Easton Jones feeling. As the 0-1 pitch, that's going to pull Dean McIntyre away from home plate for ball number one on a very powerful fastball. Up next after Klein, Preston Graff, then Jamison Lance. Runner at second in scoring position for Northstar. Next pitch, swung on and missed. For Caden Klein, he's very far behind on the fastballs. 1-2 the count with one out. As Jones trying to find the strikeout. His first today. Long glance at second. Delivers. Another swing and a miss by Caden Klein, and he'll go down swinging. Easton Jones' first strikeout today. And the second out of this inning for the offense of Lincoln Northstar. Still a runner in scoring position. Sam Schaefer at second. Graff walked in his last plate appearance against Easton Jones. Will be very far behind on a fastball. And now Easton Jones really starting to feel some good comfort this inning after, of course, the error to get Schaefer on over to first. Pretty quick 1-2 outs after that. Next 0-1. That one's very tight inside, that time with a fastball, but won't sneak into the zone. It's 1-1 the count. Graff had to move out the way. Jamison Lance on deck. Landon Steiger in the hole. The 1-1 from Easton Jones. Another fastball that will sneak out of the zone at the last second. 2-1. Jones showing good velocity again, but a couple of times just not able to find the zone with his pitches. You can't question if it hit the zone that time. Oh my gosh. And McIntyre also had to take a little glance as that one just barely misses. There's ball 3. Man, that one looked right in the zone at the knees, but 3-1 the count now to Preston Graff. And there's ball 4 as it's in the turf, so Graff will walk for the second time today, and time will be called as out comes Coach Ricky Holm at pitch 54 in the outing today for Easton Jones. Now, interesting to see if that'll do it for Jones today. Coach wanted him to stick around 60 or close to 60 pitches. Of course, if Great Plains Health can get out of this inning, that mark will stay true. Runner at first and second now for Lincoln Northstar. Sam Schaefer at second. Preston Graff at first for Anderson Ford. Lance walked in his previous plate appearance versus Easton Jones. Again, runners in scoring position, one at second and one at first. It's Jones. First pitch. Higher king curve that will sneak in on the upper end of the plate. Strike 1. Landon Steiger on deck. Brant Warner in the hole for Northstar. Glance at second. There goes the runners. That one bouncer going to be picked up by the shortstop Ty Hanneborg, and he'll step on second base for the easy ground out. And that's how this inning comes to an end. A runner was in scoring position, but that'll probably do it for the day for Easton Jones on the mound. We come back, bottom of the third here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Taylor is living the Runza dream.
The Fry Life is the high life.
He's stacking up rewards on the Runza mobile app.
Points on points on points on points.
That's a lot of free food from Runza.
Yep, I'm headed there for lunch today.
Download the Runza mobile app to start getting rewards. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See me, Shelter Agent Brent Rogo at 405 East C Street and find out why so many of our clients would recommend Shelter.
Welcome back here, Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. Half inning breaks brought to you in part by, of course, Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. You can check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Sweet Pea, as well as our other sponsors for today's game, Justin Thompson Family Agency with American Family Insurance, your one-stop shop for all home, local, business, and commercial insurance. Little chopper from Easton Jones. Throw on over the first one. Be a time it goes over the first baseman, and it's going to go out of play, and Easton Jones will go on over to second. As that's going to go up and over the head of first baseman Jamison Lance is Easton Westland. As Jones was going to saunter on over to second, but Tommy Haggart will be courtesy runner for Easton Jones. Another error for Lincoln Northstar as that throw on over to second will get Haggart back. And here's Dean McIntyre. RBI single in his first plate appearance against Preston Graff. Will have a runner scoring position once again for North Platte. Leading 4-2. Haggart with the run. Throw on over to third. We in plenty of time. And down goes Tommy Haggart as McIntyre didn't swing, but down goes Haggart trying to successfully steal third, as down he goes, and there's out number one, so no runner will come across, but it's quickly going to be a 2-0 count to Dean McIntyre. And 4-2 the lead for Great Plains Health, post 163 here in this bottom of the third inning. That one hard, grounder on over to the third baseman. McClip, throw to first, will be in plenty of time, and there's 2 outs here in this bottom of the third inning. Jackson Peters now will appear for his second time. He flew out to Brant Warner, second baseman, in his first attempt, trying to avoid a 1-2-3 bottom of the third inning for this North Platte offense. Again, leading 4-2, 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, as that fastball from Preston Graff is in the turf for ball number 1. 1-0 the count now to Jackson Peters. Next pitch is hard chopper on over to McClip, but foul once more, and there's strike number 1. Good contact from Peters, but takes a bad bounce the last second to slip out along the third base line, foul, and it's 1-1 the count. On deck, Connor Stifler with Jacoby Silos in the hole for Great Plains Health, post 163. Graffs, 1-1. Beautiful off speed that will cut itself into the zone right along the edge of the plate. 1-2 now. Silos trying to avoid a strikeout. The 1-2 fastball, chopper on over to Brandt at second, gloves it, hard throw to first, and it's in time. And that is how this inning comes to an end. A quick 1-2-3, and just like that, we now go to the top of the fourth inning on FM 98.1. AM 1410 and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Hungry for real slow smoked barbecue? Smokin' Double D's in Hershey has you covered. Locally owned and operated, they smoke their meats low and slow for mouth-watering flavor. Open Tuesday through Saturday, they're serving up barbecue favorites all day long. Craving something special? Don't miss chicken fried steak every Friday night and prime rib every Saturday. That's Smokin' Double D's, where greatness happens overnight. And every bite is worth the wait.
Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Nissan, Lincoln for your next vehicle. Look online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Bill Summers is Western Nebraska's leasing headquarters, and they have aggressive financing to get you into the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Check out all the inventory at BillSummers.com anytime. Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Nissan, Lincoln, where families are our business. Highway 83 and Walker Road in North Platte, and online 24/7 at BillSummers.com.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410. We do have a new pitcher on the mound for Great Plains Health. That is Jacoby Silos. Of course, got the start against Cheyenne and the Sixers in the final game of that doubleheader on last Sunday. Went all 8 innings. Unfortunately, Sixers did come away with that victory 6-5. Silos go in the full 8, 98 total pitches for him. Looking to build off of that great start here against Lincoln Northstar, taking over for Easton Jones, who will finish the day below 60 pitches as Coach Holm promised, and see if Jacoby can take them the rest of the way to their second victory this season, second in a row if they can. Facing off the first batter, Landon Steiger, who singled into left field in his first plate appearance. Silos is pitching to him tight inside for ball number 1. Again, half-inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann of the Fortifying Group. You can check out Kevin McGann of the Fortifying Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Sweet Pea. Off speed upstairs for ball 2, and it's going to be tough for Silos again. He's coming in pretty cold. Didn't really get many warm-up pitches in the dugout, as his 2-0 is fouled back to our press box for the first strike. Also, thank you to our other sponsors for today's game, Dr. Chris Kroll and his crew at Kroll Clinic, located in the Westfield Shopping Center in North Platte and McCook, where they specialize in sports injuries looking to get back into the game faster. Beautiful pitch from Silos as Steiger will swing and miss for strike number 2 in this top of the 4th. 2-2 the count now. Silos likes to sign for McIntyre. Here comes that 2-2. And off speed will dip too far for ball 3. And the great thing about Jacoby Silos, he's got a 3-pitch repertoire, which is very rarely seen at his age from the pitching standpoint. And there you see it right there. Beautiful off speed. Gets Steiger swinging for first out of this at-bat. And the first outing today for Silos, with Brant Warner, who struck out swinging last time he was up. Silos with a change, curve, and fastball. Of course, normally pitchers around his age either have just a 1-pitch repertoire or just 2, but for him to have 3 so far really excels his game much further along compared to others, as Warner will take a big old hack and miss, and then we'll see another off-speed land into the zone for strike 2. What was so good about Jacoby Silos in his last game, where he played against Cheyenne, just relentless pounding balls into the zone. As that fastball check swing, they're going to say going around is Brant Warner. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jacoby Silos. And now here comes Jaden Johnson, who got on to first in his last plate appearance after a drop third strike from Dean McIntyre. And so far in the first couple of batters that Jacoby Silos has seen, he's putting them up and putting them down. But that pitches upstairs from Silos for ball number 1. Back to the top of the order after Jaden Johnson, Austin McClipp on deck, Sam Schaefer in the hole. That one foul back to the netting. There for strike 1 from Silos. 1-1 the count. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Great Plains Health. 2 runs, 1 hit, 2 errors for Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar. Another beautiful off speed that unfortunately takes a bad dip towards the end, and 2-1 the count. Nobody on, 2 down, top of the 4th. Silos winds up and delivers. Hard grounder, gloved up by Easton Jones. Throwing over to first, plenty of time, and there is Easton Jones making a good play at third like he's done it for years, and that's how this inning comes to an end. 3 up, 3 down for Jacoby Silos. We're now going to the bottom of the 4th here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Get ready for the ultimate fun day out. Start at Brigham's Tap Room with a brand new menu you won't want to miss. Catch all of the action on game day with your favorite teams on our big screens. Pair the excitement with amazing drinks, and you got the ultimate game day experience at Brigham's Tap Room. And when you're ready for more fun, head over to Wild Bill's Fun Center. Dive into our action-packed arcade, knock down pins in our bowling alley, and gear up for an epic laser tag battle. There's something for everyone at Wild Bill's, where the fun never stops.
When making important life decisions about your financial future or insurance needs, it's important to work with people you trust. That's why at Farm Bureau Financial Services, we don't rely on algorithms, bots, or auto-generated answers. We get to know you, so we can help you get the right coverage and make smart financial decisions.
In North Platte, visit Jay Engel at fbfs.com/find-an-agent.
It's your future. Let's protect it.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and of course, as always, video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. Day 1 of the Grand Island Tournament. North Platte and Great Plains Health leading 4-2 on our Wicked Fast scoreboard. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Great Plains Health. Post 163, 2 runs on 1 hit, 2 errors for Lincoln Northstar. That's Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar. Half-inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. You can check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. Its location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, as well as our other sponsors for today's game. Smoking Double D's at Butch's in Hershey, locally owned and operated where they smoke their own meats low and slow to bring you award-winning barbecue. Preston Graff still on the mound against Connor Stifler, who grounded out in his last plate appearance. He'll lift that one into center field and back at it. There is Sam Schaefer to retrieve it for the second time today that Connor Stifler will get out. Here's Jacoby Silos. He struck out swinging in his last plate appearance against Preston Graff. Tyler Townsend on deck with Caden Johnson in the hole, as that's popped up and fouled behind our press box for strike number 1 from the young Silos. Pretty calm game after the explosion of offense in the first 2 innings. Silos, another good attempt, will get the bat on it and foul it off. So it's an 0-2 count to Jacoby Silos, who again is taken over on the mound for Easton Jones. As Graff, with his 51st pitch on the way, will get the sign from Klein and deliver. Check swing, dip. No. And Jacoby Silos held back on the swing, and there's ball number 1 of this at-bat. 1-2 the count now as Preston Graff will get set on the mound and deliver. That one, rocketed up into center field. It's out of the reach of Westland at short, and that is a single for Jacoby Silos. That is the 6th hit today for North Platte, and they now got a speedster on over at first, but he's going to get courtesy ran by Tommy Haggart. As here's Tyler Townsend. He singled into right in his previous plate appearance. Has a potential steal threat with Tommy Haggart at first base. Great Plains Health has been pretty good when it comes to stolen bases today. They've been all but successful, -1 attempt. As that blazing fastball from Preston Graff will smack into the zone for strike 1, and they're going to walk Tommy Haggart on over to second. I think they're a little bit of a balk situation, I think. Didn't see the sign, as they'll move Haggart to second as Townsend try to apply the bunt, but will pull back. It's should be 1 ball, 1 strike to Haggart, or should be to Tyler Townsend. Actually, I believe they are going to call that play back, and they're going to say it was a balk from Graff, and Haggart's gotten a pickle as he was hesitant on trying to get on over to second base on a pickoff attempt, and for the 2nd straight time, Tommy Haggart will get out on a base running error. And there's the 2nd out of this inning. As down goes Haggart, now having a conversation with Coach Holm as he's walking to the dugout. So 1-0 the count to Tyler Townsend. As the pitch from Graff is turned on to the glove of Easton Westland at shortstop, and that's how this inning comes to an end. There was a base runner in position for Great Plains Health, but they had another base running mistake, and with that, we go to the top of the 5th inning. They still lead 4-2. When we come back here to Duncan Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410 and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop. With your 24-hour convenience store. Fast, friendly, no one gives you more. Gas, food, your favorite drink. Get everything you need in a blink. That's why everybody stops at Quick Stop. We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Looking for midweek fun? River's Edge Golf Club has you covered. Wednesday, test your knowledge at Trivia Night, kicking off at 7 p.m. Gather your team and show off those brainy skills. Thursday, it's Burger Night. Buy 1 delicious, juicy burger and get the second half off. Now that's a deal worth swinging for. And with the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to hit the greens. Call now to book your tee time. River's Edge Golf Club, where good times and great golf meet.
Welcome back here, Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and of course, video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. Jacoby Silos still on the mound. Top of the 5th, Austin McClipp will be taking over. He's 0 for 2. 2 big flyouts to Caden Johnson in center field. Our half-inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Sweet Pete. As well as our other sponsors for today's game, Hands of Heartland. Hands of Heartland has been offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998. We're bringing those services to the North Platte area. First pitch from Jacoby Silos to McClipp is down low for ball number 1. 1-0 the count now as the famous Hastings train rolls on by the stadium. Swing and a miss by McClipp on a fastball for strike number 1. We want to give a big shout out to Carter Kelly, who is in Grand Junction, my hometown, for the NJCAA College World Series. As that fastball not going to find the zone. Ball 2 for Johnson County. They got eliminated over the weekend, so his season comes to an end as he gets prepped to head to Nebraska now as a Cornhusker commit. Off speed from Silos, still too high. Ball 3, 3-1. Of course, with the new court rulings, his junior college eligibility does not affect his college eligibility, so he will have 4 years at Nebraska as that pitch from Silos is too far upstairs for ball number 4, and it'll walk a clip on over to first. Here's Sam Schaefer. He's over 2 today, reached on an error in his last plate appearance against Great Plains Health. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for post 163. 2 runs, 1 hit, 2 errors for Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar. Another pitch from Silos. This time will be in the turf for ball 1. Following Shaper, Easton Westland, and then Caden Klein. 19 total pitches for Silos, 10 balls, 9 strikes. That one going to go into the glove of Stifler. Throw to first. It's going to be in time. Double play. Great makeup play by Connor Stifler at second base. Line drive out right into his glove. And then he rockets it on over to first for the double. And there's now 2 out in this inning. Great awareness from Stifler, again making up for a play he made earlier on a mistake. And now there's 2 down in this inning for Westland to come up to bat. 1-0 already the count into Easton Westland. He's 0 for 2 today. Flew out in his first plate appearance and rounded out in his second as that fastball from Silos is once again into the turf for ball 2 after a strong start to the game for Jacoby Silos. Been a little more sporadic with his control in this one, but he bounces back with a beautiful strike. So now the count falls to 2-1 to the shortstop Westland. He powers one on over to Greeno at first. Great backhand and the step on at first base, and that's how this inning comes to an end. Great play from Great Plains Health's defense, and they'll end this inning quickly, and we now go to the bottom of the 5th. Still a 4-2 lead on our Wicked Fast scoreboard when we come back here to Duncan Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
You're hungry and you don't want to cook. Time for Dave's.
You know how it goes. It's 6 p.m. already and nothing's planned for dinner. Let Dave's Place take care of it. With dine-in and carry-out, your family's meal is taken care of.
And Dave's Place has the big game on.
A family atmosphere with plenty of TVs to watch all the matchups you want. With homemade pizza, wings of almost any flavor, and nightly drink specials, Dave's Place won't let you down for dinner.
Dave's Place, 1510 East 4th Street, North Platte, or online at davesplacemp.com.
Whoop, whoop.
Every step should feel great, but if foot pain, bunions, heel spurs, or injuries are slowing you down, Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists is here to help. Their expert team of doctors provide top-notch care, from routine foot health to advanced treatments and surgery. Whether you're an athlete, always on the go, or just tired of aching feet, they'll get you back on your feet pain-free. Step into comfort. Call Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists today, or see them online at gpfootandankle.com.
Welcome back here, Duncan Field, day 1 of the Grand Island Tournament. Great Plains Health post 163 leading Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar 4-2 on our Wicked Fast scoreboard. 4 runs on 6 hits, 1 error for post 163. 2 runs, 1 hit, 2 errors for Anderson Ford. Wicked Fast, of course, our scoreboard sponsor today. If you stop by at Wicked Fast, if not, you're missing out on so much savings if you haven't downloaded their app, as Johnson's going to ground that one over to McClipp at third, and still far an 0 for 3 day for Caden Johnson, as there's out number 1. And now here comes Ty Hanneborg up to bat. 0 for 1 today, walked in his first plate appearance, reached on an error in his previous appearance that allowed a runner to come home for North Platte. Helped push their lead back up 4-2. It's in the bottom of the second inning. As Graff's next pitch is there for strike number 1. Preston Graff, even though he's given up the 4 runs so far, has done a pretty good job overall. 56 total pitches, 36 strikes, 20 balls, as that off speed is down low, and Hanneborg will pull back on the check swing. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Landon Greeno on deck. Easton Jones in the hole for Great Plains Health as the 1-1. That one smashed out in the center field, but right into the glove of Sam Schaefer for the second out. Another loud out for Great Plains Health, and with that, there's 2 down in this inning for Landon Greeno. Doubled in his first plate appearance. It's the opposite field, and then flew out to Jaden Johnson, in left field in his last appearance. Is that fastball from Preston Graff? From my angle, looked in, but home plate umpire says no. It's ball number 1 to Landon Greeno as Graff's next pitch. Absolutely smothered out to right field. That one's going to go almost all the way to the warning track, and Landon Greeno's going to stand up with his second double today. Old Reliable with 2 outs once again with an absolute bomb of a hit. Almost to the 370 wall. And just like that, a runner is in scoring position for Great Plains Health. And it's none other than Landon Greeno again, as here comes Easton Jones. He scored Landon Greeno in his last plate appearance when Greeno was on the bag, as Ty Davis will courtesy run for Landon Greeno. Jones had an RBI single in his first plate appearance that brought some runs home, 2 to be exact. And then he got on with an error in his last plate appearance. At first, as the throw from Brant Warner was over the head of Jamison Lance. And now with Ty Davis in scoring position at second base, another opportunity for the Grizzlies veteran Easton Jones to score another run for Great Plains Health and add some more cushion to their lead. That fastball from Graff down low, throwing over to third. As out is Ty Davis. Great throw and a great tag from McClipp as Davis oh so close to getting safe at third base, but with the out, that is how this inning will come to an end. Great Plains Health leading 4-2, and we come back here to Duncan Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Whether you're a weekend warrior, youth, or professional athlete, the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team has you covered. The team includes orthopedic surgeons, athletic trainers, and other healthcare specialists who spend their time at local high school and college sporting events, ensuring that athletes stay as injury-free as possible. In the event of an injury, the team remains committed to returning athletes to competition as quickly and safely as possible.
Contact the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team by calling 308-568-7456.
Buying a car is not always the most pleasant experience, but it doesn't have to be that way. A quarter of a century. That's how long Premier Toyota has been in the North Platte community, delivering a car buying experience that's friendly, easy, and fun. Check PremierAutoplex.com first, then stop by 2600 South Willow Street in North Platte. See Premier Toyota for your next new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Premier Toyota at PremierAutoplex.com, just south of I-80, North Platte.
Welcome back here, Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410. Great Plains Health Post 163 leading 6-2 against Anderson Ford Lincoln Northstar. Excuse me. Big hiccup there. Of course, as always on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com is Caden Klein up to bat for the first time against Jacoby Silos. His first pitch from Silos is outside, ball one. Also, thank you to our half-inning sponsor here for today's game, Kevin McGann of the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann of the Fortify Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, as Connor Stifler gets under the pop-up at second, and he'll get there to grab out number one. As here comes Preston Graff for Northstar. Walked in his last two plate appearances. Also, thank you to Premier Toyota and our Sports Zone sponsors. Premier Toyota, let's go places. You can check out their location just south of I-80 in North Platte, where they invite you to stop out and take a test drive of all their new as well as pre-owned vehicles. As that's fouled off by Graff for strike number one. Jamison Lance on deck. Landon Steiger in the hole for Northstar. Beautiful off speed, but takes a hard cut the last second for ball number one from Silos. 28 pitches, 14 strikes, 14 balls for Jacoby. As that one bounced on over to Jones at third. Glove throwing over the first. Oh, plenty of time. Man, so good to see Easton Jones back out there at third. So much confidence in his throw, and can really see that that knee is not bothering him at all. Going full speed to not only cut it off perfectly on the bounce to get it into the glove, but what's been so impressive over the years has been his quick transition from glove to hand to throw it to first. As that one's turned on by Jamison Lance and fouled out for strike number one. Seen it twice today, and feels nice to know that Easton Jones is all healthy and ready to put on a good season in his last Legion season. That one back up the middle, gloved by Ty Hannibal. Can he throw it to first? He can! Oh, but unfortunately Landon Greeno trying to do the splits. Steps off the first base bag as Jamison Lance gets on with a infield single. I mean, great effort from Hanneborg to get it almost in center field, throw it over to Greeno, and Greeno stretched out as much as he could, but unfortunately couldn't hold on to the foot at first, and that's another hit for Lincoln Northstar. Actually, they're going to correct that and say it was an error by Great Plains Health. Their second error today as Silos tries to pick off Lance. I mean, man, it was so close to being the end of this inning, but now here comes Landon Steiger, who singled in his last plate appearance. Fastball from Silos is outside for ball number one of this at-bat. Runner at first being Jamison Lance. 4-2 on our Wicked Fast scoreboard, the lead for Great Plains Health in the top of the sixth. 1-0. That's in there, strike number one. Very impressed with just the poise of Jacoby Silos towards the end of the high school season when he was been called upon on the mound and sparing appearances, but already in his two pitching appearances this season for Post 163, only gave up 6 runs against a extremely strong Cheyenne team that has always caused problems for North Platte anytime they come down. So far has yet to give up a run as a big swing and a miss from Steiger. Strike two. Silos now just needs one more perfect pitch to end this inning. Continue a strong outing for him to start the season. 1-2 the count as Jacoby Silos likes the sign and delivers. That pitch going to pull outside of the zone, very far away for ball two. It's 2-2 the count. Following Steiger, Brant Warner and Jaden Johnson in the hole for Lincoln Northstar. Silos, quick glance on over at first base. Here comes his payoff 2-2. In there, strike three. Down goes Steiger. And that's how this inning comes to an end. Jacoby Silos wheeling and dealing. This Great Plains Health team also playing some good baseball here in the first day of the Grand Island Tournament. We come back here to Duncan Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream in NorthPlattePost.com.
Spring is here. The sun is shining, flowers are blooming, and every time the wind blows, you feel it inside. And that foggy glass? No, that's not morning dew. It's a sign it's time for an upgrade. Good news. Larry's Glass in North Platte, a locally and veteran-owned business, has the expertise to upgrade those old windows with crystal clear views and energy efficiency to keep your home comfortable all year round. Enjoy spring without the indoor breeze. Call Larry's Glass today or stop by 211 West 5th in North Platte, where quality meets clarity.
Starting something new can be challenging. At Mid-Plains Community College, we see what it takes to build your dreams and through our educational instruction, make them a reality. Whether you are learning a new skill that can take your professional career to the next level, or you're looking to change your life through our educational offerings, you can build a successful future. Enroll today and begin transforming your future at mpcc.edu. That's mpcc.edu.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410. It's 4-2 on our wicked fast scoreboard in favor of Great Plains Health. Post 163 as Easton Jones fouls one off for strike number one in his potential last plate appearance in today's game. Half-inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group and his new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. Can't even call it his new location. It's been there for quite some time now, 3 years to be exact. 1-1 the count now to third baseman and starting pitcher Easton Jones from Graff. That one's once again fouled off by Jones for strike two. Really good day so far for this Great Plains Health squad. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error on our wicked fast scoreboard. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar. As the 1-2 from Preston Graff. Fastball. Oh, boy, just the hair's width outside for ball 2 as Klein will now get a count check. 2-2 the count. Nobody out, nobody on. Bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 65th pitch for Preston Graff. That one chopped, but foul down the third base side as we'll still stay at 2-2. Jones looking to make it 3 for 3 in terms of him making his way over to first. Singled in his first plate appearance to left field and then reached on an error in his second. Check swing. Another pitch that's just a hair's width off the zone. 3-2. I mean, we're talking almost like a quick little blow of a gust of wind could push it back in. As 3-2 from Graff. Popped up to center field. Good hit. Back goes Sam Schaefer. Still looking. He gets over his head. Going almost all the way to the 408 wall. And that's going to be a stand-up double for Easton Jones. And there's that power finally being shown here today that we know Jones can have. And he now safely makes it to second. Leadoff double. Dean McIntyre's up to bat. He potentially can score Easton Jones and give Great Plains Health a little bit more of a cushion when it comes to their lead as he grounds one hard hit foul down the third base side. Of course, potential next inning, top of the 7th, could be the last inning for Lincoln Northstar if they can't find some good progress offensively. As that one hard hit down the left field line. They're going to bring Easton Jones home with the long strides. Here he comes, and it's another RBI single for Dean McIntyre. He's got 2 today. And just like that, another hit, another run. It's now 5-2. As here comes Tommy Haggart, courtesy running for Dean McIntyre. Jackson Peters now, who's 0 for 2 today, trying to keep the inning rocking and rolling in the hit department. He's searching for his first hit today as Haggard gets back following a pickoff attempt from Preston Graff as Northstar not warming up any pitchers. Again, long weekend is going to be upon us for both teams. 3 days worth of games, 4 of them in total, as back-to-back pickoffs will get Haggard back. Of course, we all know that Coach Holm very, very aggressive on the mound on the base pads is out to go warm up. Landon Greeno for North Platte. As first pitch into Jackson Peters from Graff is down low for ball number 1. It's Graff's next pitch. Hard hit from Peters to the opposing dugout, and it's foul. Strike 1, so Greeno warming up. Potentially, if he is called upon to be the closer in this game, he had a pretty strong end of the season pitching-wise for North Platte. As 1-1. Graff, next pitch is just upstairs and a bit out. Oh, and they're going to give a warning to the Northstar dugout. So, coach for Lincoln Northstar getting a warning as he's been arguing balls and strikes here in the last couple of innings. They've been, I won't lie, pretty close. That one's another one tight inside of Peters for ball 3. It's 3-1. So I will give credit to the Northstar coach. They've been pretty close in terms of hitting the zone. As there goes Tommy Haggard on over to third, and he's out again. As down goes Tommy Haggard, getting caught stealing. It's the third time today that Haggard has been caught out. Oh, I'm going to overturn the call. Looks like they are, as they're going to call back and say that Haggard actually did make it safely on over to second. As time is going to be called, and now out to have a conversation with Preston Graff, his pitching coach for Northstar. They're already given up a couple of base runners into bottom of the 6th inning. Speedy Jackson Peters at first, and the also speedy Tommy Haggard at second. Great Plains Health leading 5-2 on our Wicked Fast scoreboard. It'd be huge for them if they can get another couple runs to come across and just continually add on to the lead. You know, just make it more comfortable for either Jacoby Silos or Landon Greeno to appear and close this game out and really start this Grand Island tournament off on the right foot for this post-163 squad, trying to make it 2 in a row and make it one step closer to being 500. Peters at first, Haggard at second. Here's Connor Stifler. He made a loud fly out to Sam Schaefer in center field. His last plate appearance, going to say he went around on the swing that was very down low and away for strike 1. To the very smiley and very energetic Connor Stifler. Again, in the high school season, at one point was 0 for 25 at the plate, but that didn't stop him, from keeping that smile nice and bright, and turned out to be pretty good approach as towards the end of the season had some pretty big hits for the Bulldogs. As here comes the 0-1. Check swing again. I'm going to say it's in there nonetheless. Strike 2. It's 0-2 now to Connor Stifler after 2 good pitches from Preston Graff. Runners at first and second for Great Plains South. Bottom of the 6th. Graff staring at second. 0-2. High bouncer. Westland's going to glove it up. Rocket it over to first. It's in time, but that does advance the runners up one base pad. So runners now at third and second with 1 out. For Jacoby Silos. Silos, 1 for 2 today, singled up the middle in his last plate appearance against Preston Graff. Has Haggard at third. Peters at second with only 1 out. Pitch from Graff is upstairs, ball number 1. One 1-0 as the infield playing on the grass. Now there's a bunt. This could be a successful steal home, but that bunt will fall foul along the first base side. A Coach Holmes special. Bunting down the first base side to score the runner at third base, but it's going to go foul for strike number 1. 1-1 the count. At some point this season, we will see a home base steal. It's happened every single season I've been here. It's the 1-1. Another bunt being laid down beautifully by Jacoby Silos. Will score the runner. Throw to first will be in time, but well worth it as on home comes Tommy Haggart. But a beautiful bunt to the pitcher from Jacoby Silos will successfully score a run. And now, with Tyler Townsend up to bat, another opportunity to bring another run home and increase this ever-growing lead. It's 6-2 on our wicked fast scoreboard with Jackson Peters up to bat as that curveball very, very deep into the turf for ball one to Townsend. He singled in his first plate appearance but did fly out to center in his last. 1-0. Well, that curveball, man, oh man, did not come off the fingers well from Preston Graff, and it's way upstairs for ball one. 6-2 on our wicked fast scoreboard in favor of Great Plains Health. 2-0 pitch. Another one, this time a fastball that's upstairs. Quick 3-0. And Northstar not going to throw a new pitcher out. They're going to stick with Graff the whole way and preserve their arms for the weekend. 3-0 as time will be called by Tyler Townsend. He won't be given it. And now more conversations from the dugout from Northstar as home plate umpire having a conversation. So they're going to redo that pitch. It's 3-0 the count to Tyler Townsend as Preston Graff delivers. Upstairs ball 4 and on over to first goes Townsend. As here comes Caden Johnson, who has not had a really strong day today from a hitting perspective. He's 0 for 3, but with a runner at the corners first and third, and one of them being Jackson Peters, a scary opportunity for Great Plains, for the defense of Northstar, as even though Joni hasn't had a great day today, he's still somebody you have to always be aware of because he can turn on one if given an opportunity to. It's Graff. Looks to pick off Townsend at first, but he easily will step back on the bag in time. Again, both Johnson as well as Townsend going to Arizona. Two separate schools for college. Swing and a miss by Caden Johnson for strike number one. Of course, Easton Jones and Caden Johnson going to the University of Phoenix with Tyler Townsend going just a few miles down the road to another one. He'll successfully steal second without any argument as that fastball from Graff is in the turf for ball one. On deck, Ty Hanneborg, Landon Greeno in the hole for Great Plains Health with 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. That's Graff. 1-1. That off speed was once again off the mark. Tight inside, almost hitting the elbow of Johnson, and with that, it's 2-1. As Graff, with runners in scoring position at second and third, delivers. Joni will turn that on over to Westland at short. Throw on over to first is going to be in time, and that's how this inning comes to an end, but not before 2 runs do come across for Great Plains Health. We go now to the top of the 7th inning, potential last inning of play here today when we come back to Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
See me, Pete Volz, at 501 South Jeffers for a free insurance review.
Try Runza's Lemonade Refreshers, powered by plant-based natural caffeine. And they come in 4 delicious flavors: pomegranate passion, mango mojo, prickly pear, and watermelon wild. Why do you keep doing that?
These refreshers are just so refreshing.
But you don't have to make that noise every time. Try Runza's Lemonade Refreshers. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410. We do have a new pitcher on the mound for Great Plains Health, Post 163. It's Landon Greeno. He'll be closing today's game as Jacoby Silos moves to third. Easton Jones then moves on over to first for North Platte's defense. The first batters that Greeno will be seeing today, the lefty, will be Brant Warner, who's 0 for 2 today. Jaden Johnson, who's on deck, and then back to the top of the order with Austin McClipp. Half-inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Check out his place, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, for all your farm, crop, auto, home, and commercial insurance. Swing! And a miss by Warner for strike one. Of course, Greeno, one of the lone lefties on this team with, of course, Cade Freeze going to prospects. It's good to see Freeze, though, going up to that next level of competition as that pitch is outside from senior Greeno. Of course, would have loved to see him continue a strong season with the Bulldogs here for Great Plains Health, but going on over to prospects, so that leaves Landon Greeno as one of the lone lefties on this bullpen. 2-1 the count as his fastball is outside to Warner. Next pitch. Hard grounder, but that will go towards the North Platte dugout for strike two. It's 2-2 the count now to Brant Warner, who's struck out swinging in every appearance so far. 2-2. Grounder. That's going to be foul off the bat once again. So the goal here is to make sure Greeno, it would be almost physically impossible to get to the pitch limit where he'll have to take a day off. So 2-2 now the count to Brant Warner with nobody out in the top of the seventh. Potential last inning of play in today's ball game. As Greeno into his windup delivers. Oh, sweet mama. It is just outside for ball three, 3-2. And that right side of the plate from my angle sure is getting a lot of close calls. 3-2. Turned on, going towards right field, and it will fall foul as Jackson Peters almost got there to grab it, but foul ball will mean we'll go once again with this at-bat from Brant Warner. And out here would be a really good start for how this inning could potentially go for Great Plains Health. And we all know old reliable, who is on the mound, Landon Greeno, can get her done. 3-2, here comes the payoff pitch. Well, I say that, and of course, you instantly have to think about how I jinxed it, and off to first goes Brant Warner with a walk. And here comes Jaden Johnson. He's 0 for 2 today. Made it on over to first with a dropped third strike and flew out in his last plate appearance. As now courtesy running on over at first, as here's Jaden Johnson trying to advance the runner at first to be Warner. Greeno's next pitch, fastball in there. Strike number one. I mean, it was that time very tight inside, but finds the zone. 0-1 to Jaden Johnson. Austin McClipp on deck. Sam Schaefer in the hole. Greeno delivers. Hard grounder to Stiflers. Could be a double play. Throw on over to second. To first. Oh, it's going to get away from Easton Jones as, unfortunately, Hanneborg threw it too far away, but didn't cost Great Plains Health too much as the runner at first still stayed where he was. So they'll get the easy out at least at second. The runner will make his way on over to first following the fielder's choice. As here's McClipp. He's 0 for 2. He walked in his last plate appearance. It's now pointing towards the North Platte dugout from the official. 1 out here in this top of the seventh. Jaden Johnson at first as lefty Greeno faces McClipp. That pitch just too high in the zone for ball one. Following McClipp, Sam Schaefer, Easton Westland in the hole for this Northstar squad. It'll be tough for Johnson to steal with the lefty. Greeno looking right at him. Turned on. by McClipp, but pulled very, very far foul for strike one. It's 1-1 the count. With one out here in this top of the first. Top of the seventh. Boy, howdy. Maybe that took too long of a vacation. Here's the 1-1 from Landon Greeno to McClipp. Another pitch that's just upstairs. For ball two, went right back to that fastball. It was just a little too far up the ladder. 2-1. The runner at first and one out. Greeno, another pitch. That pulls away from Dean McIntyre for ball three, so it's now 3-1 the count. And this is why it was a good opportunity for Great Plains Health to have gotten those runs last inning to increase this lead in case we get to a situation where things get a little dicey. A great bounce back pitch from Greeno as he blows that one right past McClipp. Now it's a full count, 3-2 with one out to Austin McClipp. As Greeno winds up and delivers. Popped up, but pulled behind our press box. It'll still stay at 3-2. And of course, as I'll always say, an out here would go a long ways for how the rest of this inning could go for Great Plains Health. Here's the 3-2 once again. Oh boy, fastball, that'll pull very far away from Dean McIntyre. That's another walk, second today for Greeno. As here's Sam Schaefer, he's 0 for 3 today. Has runners at second and first, and of course the one at second being in scoring position. One out here in the top of the seventh. 6-2 lead for Great Plains Health. Following Schaefer, Easton Westland, then Caden Klein. The lefty Greeno will get the sign for McIntyre and now approach his first pitch in. Off speed, popped up, going into right field. It'll fall in for a base hit. They're going to bring the runner on home. Jaden Johnson throw on over to third. Great throw from Easton Jones, and they'll get the tag out. Beautiful throw from Jones. One run will come home, but what a throw from Easton Jones to get the runner out at third base. And now they're, while being a 6-3 game, it's now 2 down in this inning for Easton Westland, who rounded out in his last plate appearance. Runner at first being Sam Schaefer with 2 down in this top of the 7th inning. It's Greeno's first pitch. Beautiful throw, and that time that off speed dropped right into the spot he wanted. It's 0-1 the count now. Caden Klein on deck with Preston Graff in the hole for Northstar. And at the lefty Greeno, long glance at first delivers. Little tapper. It's going to be picked up by Dean McIntyre. Not going to be thrown on over to first as it's an infield single from Westland on a very light tap. Nothing really anybody could have done in that situation. Fourth hit today for Northstar. Now there's 2 runners aboard for Klein, who's also 0 for 2 today. Walked in his first plate appearance, struck out swinging in his second, then flew out to Connor Stifler in his last appearance. Has Westland at first, Schaefer at second. Swing and a miss for strike number 1, and this is probably the best opportunity for Greeno to end the game here. Klein very, very active in terms of his swing today, which means he's whiffed a lot of them. So 0-1 now the count as Landon Greeno will deliver. Ooh, that's a check swing, and it's going to bounce off the foot there of Caden Klein as he thinks, he's saying it bounced off his foot. As now time's going to be called, and they're going to have a review from the home plate umpire as well as the umpire out at second if it hit his foot. It's very close to hitting his foot. Klein says it did. Northstar coach not happy that the call wasn't gone their way, so he's going to have a review real quick to say that it didn't hit his foot. And with that, it's 1-1 the count now to Caden Klein, with 2 down here in this top of the 7th inning. Graff on deck. Lance in the hole for Northstar. As Greeno delivers. Fouled back for strike number 2. 1-2 the count here for Landon Greeno. As he'll get set and deliver his 1-2 pitch. Pulling tight inside for ball 2. 2-2 the count as Greeno tried to sneak a fastball in, but it cut too far to the inside, and now it's ball number 2. 2-2 is Coach Holm going to tell McIntyre to have a conversation with Landon as those two will discuss it out. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. 6-3 the lead for Great Plains Health here in this top of the 7th inning and what could be the final half inning of play between these two teams to start their Grand Island tournament. Klein is set. Greeno is set. He'll get the sign from McIntyre. Here comes his payoff 2-2 pitch. Off speed is too high, and it's ball 3. And seen this a couple of times, 2 to be exact, already in this ball game for Greeno. On a full count pitch, he's been unsuccessful in striking his batter out. Can he turn it all around here without loading the bases? 3-2. Shallow right field. It's going to fall for a base hit. They're going to bring the runner on home. The throw to McIntyre. He can't apply the tag, and that's an RBI single for Caden Klein. Now it is 6-4 on our wicked fast scoreboard. Another hit, another run comes across, and here's Preston Graff, grounded out in his last plate appearance to Easton Jones. Has runners at second and first for Northstar. They trail 6-4 on our wicked fast scoreboard. Their 5th hit today. Greeno with his 26th pitch. Grounder on over to Ty Handelborg. This will end the game, and it does, and that's how Great Plains Health starts off their Grand Island tournament. Got a little sketchy towards the end. They gave up 2 runs in the top of the 7th, but come away with a Game 1 victory here against Anderson Ford Lincoln Northstar. And with that, they're now on a 2-game winning streak as they take down Northstar. 6-4, 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Great Plains Health. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Lincoln Northstar. And Great Plains Health post 163 now. 2-3 on the season. 0-3 for Northstar to start their 2025 campaign. And I think overall a great victory. Yes, the end of the game probably got a little closer than head coach Ricky Holm was looking for, but holistically, you'd have to appreciate the little things that this Great Plains Health squad did. As, yes, they came away with 2 errors, but overall, I think a game that they can be proud of is. We'll step aside and, of course, take a break when we come back. Quick stop post-game show right here on FM 98.1. AM 1410 and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at WordPlatPost.com.
Hungry for real slow smoked barbecue? Smoking Double D's in Hershey has you covered. Locally owned and operated, they smoke their meats low and slow for mouth-watering flavor. Open Tuesday through Saturday, they're serving up barbecue favorites all day long. Craving something special? Don't miss chicken fried steak every Friday night and prime rib every Saturday. That's Smoking Double D's, where greatness happens overnight. And every bite is worth the wait.
So what do you see in your future? Buying the perfect home with a big oak tree? Watching your child graduate from college? Or finding more time for hobbies during your retirement? Whatever your future holds, make sure you talk with the Farm Bureau Financial Services agent. Together, we'll create a plan that's right for you.
In North Platte, visit Jay Engel at fbfs.com/find-and-agent.
It's your future. Let's protect it.
North Platte and beyond, your home just got safer and more comfortable. Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment has what you need, from wheelchairs to lift chairs, mobility scooters, and more. Conveniently located at 220 West Leota Street, Suite 1. right next to Great Plains Urgent Care. Their expert team is ready to help you move with ease. Call 308-568-8510 today and take the first step toward comfort, independence, and a better quality of life.
We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Save money at the pump at Quick Stop with the Dino Pay app. Dino Pay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings to Sinclair Dino Pay, saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and For Real Shakes and Smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and is now bringing those services to the North Platte area. Residential services, respite services, community services, and even day services. Hands of Heartland offers a full array of services from 24-hour supports to just a few hours per week. Learn more today online at handsofheartland.com. That's handsofheartland.com. Hands of Heartland, providing creative opportunities to live and grow.
Great Plains Health Orthopedics in North Platte is ready to serve you with board-certified orthopedic surgeons and a team of medical professionals who specialize in hip, knee, and shoulder joint replacements and revisions, minor to complex hand injuries, sports medicine for both the serious athlete and the weekend warrior, new and innovative operative and non-operative procedures, and work-related injuries. Same-week appointments are available. Call Great Plains Health Orthopedics today.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Welcome back here, Duncan Field, day one of the Grand Island Tournament, FM 98.1, AM 1410, video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. How about Great Plains Health? Post 163, posting back-to-back wins. They took down the West Coast Zephyrs earlier this week and then just took down Anderson Ford, Lincoln Northstar, 6-4. 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for Great Plains Health. 4 left stranded, 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for Northstar. So Great Plains Health now 2-3 on the season compared to Northstar, who's 0-3 to start their 2025 campaign. And honestly, yeah, it was probably a little closer in the end than head coach Ricky Holm was looking for. Got to be pretty proud of how this North Platte team played today. It was, I honestly think, a great showing of what good baseball can do to a team. You know, yes, they had 2 errors in today's game, but holistically, you got to be pretty proud of how this team showed up. You know, coming in, playing 4 games in 3 days, doubleheader tomorrow. Really got a lot of games ahead of them and against a lot of great teams. So they decided today they were going to get off on the right foot. And I thought they played really good North Platte baseball. What does North Platte baseball consist of? Sound fundamentals. I really was happy to see the 3 pitchers that North Platte did throw out. Easton Jones, Landon Grimo, and Jacoby Silos do a great job of pounding the strike zone when they were pitching today. And then I think overall hitting, coming away with 9 hits, 6 runs. You know, overall, I think that was a really, really good game for North Platte, as out goes head coach Ricky Holm running to, looks like center field. He looks like he must have lost a bet or something, as there he goes, taking the jog out to center. I don't think I've seen that from Coach Holm ever. Actually, no, he's not. He's putting somebody's hat there. I know it's for Easton Jones. There he goes running out to run past it. So, interesting type of situation there. But I think you got to be pretty happy for how this team played. We know that this is the style and this is what this team can do. It just has, over the years, really struggled to find that, consistency, I think the word is. They've had some issues in terms of finding that consistency overall when it comes to some of their games. So the fact that coming into a tournament which is just jammed packed with so many great teams, and for them to come out the way they did right off the bat, pump Lincoln Northstar right on the nose, and really not let them get off to a good start as we've seen many teams do against North Platte is pretty encouraging, which means they got to carry that into tomorrow. Doubleheader against Pius as well as Lincoln Standing Bear, teams they've already seen this season that have been thorns on the side for Great Plains Health and North Platte over the season. So we'll see how they can do with that. We'll step aside once again and take a break. When we come back, Quick Stop post-game show continues on. Hopefully head coach Ricky Holm will join us up in the press box here at FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Chris Kroll. At Kroll Clinic, we specialize in all areas of rehab, from daily aches and pains to sports injuries, motor vehicle accidents, or post-surgical care. We're the area's premier facility for concussion recovery. Visit us at KrollClinic.com, that's KRULL Clinic.com, or come visit us at Westfield Shopping Center in North Platte. We are committed to getting you back in the game of life without those annoying facility fees.
PuroClean of North Platte delivers fast water, mold, and fire damage restoration services to the North Platte area. PuroClean knows how challenging those times can be to you and to your family. Their Nebraska-based experts have a winning, reliable combination of training and equipment partnerships. Local, fast to service in the North Platte area. Their average on-site time is 60 minutes, and they'll coordinate with your local insurance provider. Give PuroClean a call now at 1-800-775-7876 and schedule a visit from a member of the team at PuroClean in North Platte.
North Platte and beyond, your home just got safer and more comfortable. Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment has what you need, from wheelchairs to lift chairs, mobility scooters, and more. Conveniently located at 220 West Leota Street, Suite 1, right next to Great Plains Urgent Care. Their expert team is ready to help you move with ease. Call 308-568-8510 today and take the first step toward comfort, independence, and a better quality of life.
Spring is here. The sun is shining, flowers are blooming, and every time the wind blows, you feel it inside. And that foggy glass? No, that's not morning dew. It's a sign it's time for an upgrade. Good news. Larry's Glass in North Platte, a locally and veteran-owned business, has the expertise to upgrade those old windows with crystal clear views and energy efficiency to keep your home comfortable all year round. Enjoy spring without the indoor breeze. Call Larry's Glass today or stop by 211 West 5th in North Platte, where quality meets clarity.
Starting something new can be challenging. At Mid-Plains Community College, we see what it takes to build your dreams and through our educational instruction, make them a reality. Whether you are learning a new skill that can take your professional career to the next level, or you're looking to change your life through our educational offerings, you can build a successful future. Enroll today and begin transforming your future at mpcc.edu. That's mpcc.edu.
Sit back and watch me push the limit.
Hi, this is Dr. Chris Kroll. At Kroll Clinic, we specialize in all areas of rehab, from daily aches and pains to sports injuries, motor vehicle accidents, or post-surgical care. We're the area's premier facility for concussion recovery. Visit us at KrollClinic.com, that's KRULL Clinic.com, or come visit us at Westfield Shopping Center in North Platte. We are committed to getting you back in the game of life without those annoying facility fees.
The game's in the books. Time for the post-game show on FM 98.1 and online at NorthPlattePost.com.
Welcome back here, Duncan Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410 is Great Plains Health Post 163 comes up with a 6-4 victory in their first game of the Grand Island tournament. Is making his way up here to the press box. He almost forgot me. I'm going to hold. I know. He's got to do all the festivities as head coach Ricky Holm joins me here. Coach, I think it's crazy to say off the top of the season that you probably put together a very strong, complete game, something that we haven't seen from this squad in previous years. Normally the opening season has been the season of, getting through with all those easy-peasy errors, but 6-4 probably would have liked it to have stayed at 6-2 towards the end of the contest, but I got to say, really strong overall start to your Grand Island tournament.
Yeah, I think from a hitting perspective, I think today was probably the most barrels we've found all year, whether it be high school or summer. Not all all of them necessarily translated to base hits, but a lot of loud outs, a lot of productive outs today, and everybody kind of stepped up and did their part. Made a few base running mistakes that we'll like to have back and stuff that we'll touch up, and Jones and Greeno gave up too many free passes, but Silos came in there in the middle innings and kind of settled it down and pounded the zone and gave us a chance to win. And he kind of knocked out of his little slump, got his first base hit of the year, and then also had a nice little suicide squeeze. So top to bottom, thought, we played a pretty complete game today.
I really was, and hit me through with Easton Jones, his real first big outing of his baseball season this year. Of course, they probably gave up a little too many. That second inning, probably his overall worst inning of this outing, but I think the thing that shows just how locked in he is for this season, didn't really seem to have phased him at all after that inning. Came in, locked it down for his final couple of pitches and held the fort down, only getting up 2 runs.
Yeah, he only gave up 1 hit, and until that last inning, I think we'd only given up 2, so it was mainly just the free passes. Just going to kind of chalk it up to him still getting his legs under him, but, he's one of those guys, he's a competitor. Even if he doesn't have his best stuff, he's going to give you, the best opportunity to win. And then also had that huge play at first base where there in the last inning where he makes a slide and gets around the baseball and throws a long turf hop to Joby at third and got that out at third. So that was just a next level baseball play that you're not going to see too many first basemen, 1, be able to think about it, but then also 2, to execute it. So no, it wasn't his best stuff, and he would have liked to have had some pitches back, but still only gave up 1 hit, was probably low to mid 80s, and threw a couple of sliders that looked pretty dirty today. So something to build off of. Nobody normally rolls out of bed after not doing something for 9 months and is just
lights out
the way they were before. So definitely something to build upon here as we move forward, and just kind of looking to stretch them out, easy 5-10 pitches each game, and hopefully in a month here or so we'll have them back to full go.
It reminded me a lot of last season. While Landon Greeno came in for the save, you probably could have played it if he didn't have a game tomorrow, probably with just a 2-man rotation. It really reminded me of last year during that winning streak you had towards the end of the season, where you start out hot with Jack Polk and then throw in Easton towards the end. That's what it kind of felt like here today. Is that you don't want to, of course, replicate it, because I think towards the end of the season we saw how that wore and tore on Jack, but you kind of feel like if this can continue in that type of cycle, you feel much more comfortable than you did going into the season.
Yeah, it's going to be tough from a coaching perspective trying to juggle the pitching. We have a fair bit of starting pitchers and not necessarily a ton of just strictly relievers. So a lot of times, like today, it was, if not our 3 best pitchers, 3 of our 4 best pitchers that pitched today. So that's something that, that's why they pay me the big bucks, and I'm going to have to sit down and try. But it was like one of those things, Joby was at 34 or 37 pitches there, and it's like, well, he can go out there. If he throws more than 9, he's done for the weekend. Easton Geisler is going to be gone this upcoming week, so it was going to be Joby was going to start this weekend, but without having Geisler this weekend, we'll probably strictly use Joby out of the pen on Sunday for 30 pitches and have him come back and start versus Hastings, and use Easton here on Sunday before he goes off to do his registration for college this week. So it's one of those things. It's tough. You're sitting here and you don't want to mess with what's working, but then also too, it's that fine line of worrying about tomorrow while also trying to win today. So it's going to be a constant battle throughout the year in my head, and getting with the coaches, and not necessarily saying that we're going to make the right move every time, but it's definitely one of those things that we're going to have to be cognizant of moving forward.
But I think if the team can continue to play like they do today, instead of the team that we've seen so many years prior, where the early season is that team that gets really, I don't want to say caught in their head, but too many mistake prone. So if they can continue to play this clean brand of baseball, I wouldn't say you'd have to worry too much about that be the wrench in the cog, and you can actually really focus on maybe getting the pitching into a nice rotation.
Yeah, some of the guys were frustrated after the game, and it's like, guys, not that I want us to have a loser mentality or that I think we're losers, but in our last 29 games, we're 10-19. So it's one of those things, like, don't get me wrong. I understand as a competitor that, you want to be a perfectionist and there's a lot of things that you want to improve on. But also at the same time, this is one of those teams that's kind of struggled in finishing out games. I think the first inning and the 7th inning have been our roughest ones. So, and that kind of played out again today. It was probably the 2nd and the 7th inning. But one of those things where, at this point, we'll take wins. I've told the guys it's about the process and not the result. And I thought today, especially with our loud outs, we had a lot of good barrels up and down the lineup. Everybody made contact. Connor Stifler had a loud out. Tyler Townsend had a loud out. Tyler Hanneborg had a couple loud outs. Joni had 3 loud outs. So it's one of those things where even though you're not necessarily seeing the result of it, the process is there. So hopefully as we move forward here into tomorrow, we can kind of build off that and kind of get a couple dubs tomorrow.
Big success, though. I think you got the monkey off your back. I think it's the first time in 2 years you've actually won here at Duncan Field outside of a district game. This place has always been I know. I was thinking
I know Easton said he doesn't think he's ever thrown here, which is crazy. Whether juniors or seniors, he doesn't think he's ever thrown here. So that was probably his first outing.
Yes, and it's always funny because this has always been the cursed destination for this team over the years, and it almost turned back into the curse once again. But 2 tough games going into tomorrow. Pius as well as Standing Bear, teams that you've, of course, seen in the high school season that have, probably coming out here to look to exact revenge, Pius being one of the ones primarily. So really take me through what kind of plan you got set for tomorrow to make sure that you really can get through this tournament with a 3-0 record and get back to above 500.
Yeah, so tomorrow we have Standing Bear and Southwest. Pius is going to be on Sunday, so Joni will start.
Not any better.
Yeah, Joni will start tomorrow versus Standing Bear. The original plan was to have Greeno versus Southwest, and then Geisler on Sunday versus Pius. But because Greeno threw today, I'm going to give him one more day off, and we'll flip them. So Geisler will throw versus Southwest tomorrow, and after he had a complete game at the plate on Tuesday versus Scottsbluff, where he had a productive out and grounded out, got an RBI, wore a pitch, and then also had a base hit. So we've in the past DH'd for him, but going to give him the opportunity tomorrow. He earned some extra at-bats with his game on Tuesday, so he'll have game 2 and go out there and hit for himself and hopefully pound the zone. That's our biggest thing with our pitchers is when we're around the zone and we're attacking and at least giving our defense a chance, that's when we're going to be in ball games. It's limiting those free passes and making sure we're not trying to be too fine with our pitches.
Coach, as always, thank you so much for stopping on by.
Thank you, Pax.
See you nice and early tomorrow for another fun doubleheader. There is Great Plains Outpost 163 come up with a 6-4 victory over Lincoln Northstar here in 7 innings of work. Well, that'll do it for me here today. I'm going to see, I'm not going to physically see every single one of you, but I'm going to see you all tomorrow for some more great baseball starting at noon. When, of course, Great Plains Outpost 163 takes on Standing Bear and Southwest from Ryder Park in Grand Island. Of course, we'll be back on Sunday as well versus Lincoln Pius. Our Wicked Fast scoreboard, 6-4 victory here today for North Platte. See you all tomorrow for more amazing baseball on FM 98.1 AM 1410 and video live streaming on our WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Get ready, North Platte. Brigham's Tap Room has a brand new menu you do not want to miss. Catch all of the action on game day with your favorite teams. The Huskers, the North Platte Bulldogs, and the St. Pat's Irish on their big screens. Pair the excitement with our amazing drinks, and you've got the ultimate game day experience. Don't forget to enjoy axe throwing with your friends. Brigham's Tap Room, where great food, great drinks, and great times come together. Brigham's Tap Room, 11